Okay, welcome back to our Astonishing Swordsmen and Sorcerers of Hyperborea campaign. We are currently in the Khromarium steppe, in the year one. Uh, the month is 9, so we're coming back after a long winter, and little by little we're getting some light each day. A couple hours of light a day at this point. The party has been making their way for the last month or so across the steppe towards Calencia, where they can pick up a boat. Ultimately, they are headed towards a mysterious plateau or valley near a plateau, I should say, in the center of Hyperborea. A painting with kind of glimpse of the future was seen, and the shadow of the Kraken seems to be rising from the center of Hyperborea. So the party is headed in that direction. Speaking of Hyperborea, there was a bit of a shakeup where, uh, due to mystical reasons, the party realized they were on a flat piece of Earth hurling through space, and the witch, being magical in nature, I guess, was susceptible to this and fell off Hyperborea, falling into the sky, uh, until eventually disappearing. And as they did over Mount Orp, the ancient mountain which the Khromarians claim their people were brought to Hyperborea from the other world, there was a glimmer that drew the party's eyes. Realizing there was a connection, they have kind of set their eyes towards Mount Forp. But before we get into that, let's intro everybody, and you guys can add anything that I may or may not have forgotten. I'll start over here with Crystal.
I play Rowan Seach, the Pyromancer. She is a little disoriented herself after filling this pool and seeing her friend fall into the void. She's kind of just doesn't know what to think at the moment, and she kind of looks to Pinesta for guidance to see what it is that they should do, as she kind of considers Pinesta the leader of the group, and that's Rowan Seach.
Excellent. Speaking of Pinesta, Nikki, tell us about your character.
I play Pinesta. She's a bard. Um, she is just kind of got her head in her hands, like, oh no, this is, I'm gonna do this. Like, well, I guess if we must. And she's looking back at Rowan Siege, kind of like, we need to think. I'm not sure how to save him, but we'll figure out a way. And that's Pinesta.
Okay. Rush, tell us what Ravda's up to, or thinking.
Revna is extraordinarily disoriented because she missed last week's adventure. Um, but she
So
does
hopefully that
know.
summary made sense.
Yes, she woke up. As she starts to come to, she knows that her companion has fallen into the void. Just when she thought that she might be able to go back home finally and take a long rest, her friend has fallen into the void, and while uh, Ali's eccentricities sometimes grate her nerves a bit, she recognizes him for his abilities, and he has come to be a good traveling companion, and she feels guilty leaving him to such a horrible fate. And so she is now prepared to go and see if she can pull him back from the void and then go home and, and have a nice long rest. And that is Revna Valdheim, the Viking Legerdemainist.
Excellent. And rounding out the party is their companion Helene, who will be played by Young this session.
Yep.
Tell us what's up with Helene.
So for tonight, I'm playing our party's trusty cleric, Helena Sophidoris. She is a mighty Amazon warrior priestess. She has been with the party since the adventure at the Crystal Point, and she is very courageous and wise, although she may not be the strongest or the most outgoing of the party. You see her clad in fine, I believe, chainmail, or
Yeah, she has magic chainmail that was given to
yeah,
her.
very fine magic chainmail, still wielding her mighty hammer. And she says, ah, well, we need to do what we can. because he's been with the party, and so far, I don't know about you guys, but I like the guy.
Nice. All right. So it is the 18th day of the 9th month, the first year in Hyperborea. It is dark as far as the sun, because the sun only crests the horizon for a very short period. However, it is a full moon. The smaller of the two moons is full. Phobos and Selene, the larger of the two moons, is half. So it's actually fairly bright out, being a clear night or day, as it would be. You guys are, I will just remind you, if you look at the map here, you guys are basically right here, kind of where coming off that, you kind of skirted the shore of that, what is a lake? I guess the southern shore of it's not really the south, but I'll say south because that's how our brains work. But the southern shore of that lake, and right around where it met back up with the river was where, actually you were about one hex in, so like probably like right at the corner there is where you lost Ali. You kind of drifted past people being sick, looking back, seeing the witch kind of fly through the air, different directions, holding onto the broom tightly. You watched Ali go, and then right over Mount Thorpe there was kind of a light, which drew your attention to the icy caps there. There is kind of frozen grasslands. Actually, there's a wetlands. There are frozen wetlands, about a hex worth, so about 25 miles worth, to the north between you and the mountain. You are on a folding boat, and it's somewhere in the middle of the day. So the sun is set, and the sun sets at 1:25. So we'll say it's about maybe 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Well,
Everybody's
that
just staring
happened.
at each other.
Yeah. We have to get Ali back somehow.
How are we going to do that?
I was hoping you might have an idea.
So
Does anyone have an
yeah,
idea?
I was not here when he when he fell.
Right.
So did we?
All right, so I'll go over it again because I know it's been a couple of weeks. So effectively, Mount Tharp, as it is actually, if I pronounce it correctly each time, is kind of one of those places that people in Hyperborea stay away from. Khromarium legend has it that there's a great portal there that allows the transference between worlds, and that is how the Khromarians came to be in Hyperborea. We're talking a long time ago, before the Black Death like originally came to be here. Most people stay away because they fear being, you know, brought to other worlds or into the Black Gulf. So you see it to what is effectively your north, as we would think. It's not actually the north, but it's the north for our intents and purposes. You were on the boat. You have a folding boat that you've been traveling on for a while. And suddenly you just all became very aware that Hyperborea is flat and this chunk of Earth flying through space. And that realization caused, maybe because he was a witch, caused a magical reaction with Ali that sent him effectively falling straight up. The party did try to make chase, but he was falling awful fast. And like I said, you didn't see him go out into the Gulf. He was heading in that direction. Then all of a sudden he kind of disappeared. And then a blinding light came from above the mountain. So realizing that the mountain is connected with interdimensional travel and space and stuff, I think I forget. I just gave that information. I think probably to Crystal's character, who's of a magic using type. You would understand that there could be a connection there.
Okay.
Because you don't have any other way to get into the Gulf. Well, save going back to the tower on. Sorry.
Yeah.
Right.
Not going there.
Right.
So she'll say, well, Panesta, I'm sure you've heard the stories of Mount Thorpe, and how the Khromarians got here was through a portal in that mountain. And So I guess the best place to search for a way into the Gulf would be there, climbing Mount Thorpe.
Allow me to consult to Auroras for to give us some idea about the whereabouts of our friend. I could pray for divination from Auroras, if you would allow me to take a moment.
See where it would hurt anything.
And
Yeah.
Helene would cast divination.
Cool.
And atop the focus around the mountaintop where she saw the flash of light.
Let's take a look. Divination. Turn. Okay. Spell similar to augury, except the agent sought great power, hence okay, greater knowledge. Very nice. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, it covers that much space, top of a mountain, exactly. Okay, cannot be used to ask yes or no questions. Okay. Okay, so you should, I guess, just tell me what you want to know, and then I'll roll to see if you if you get that information or not. Because you basically have to ask a question. It can't be a yes or no question, but you could ask kind of a more open-ended question that's not yes or no. Like it can't be like, is Ali in that mountain? But it could be.
Yeah, Helene would be like, oh, Auroras, reveal to your faithful if there's a great power that's responsible for the disappearance of our friend, a great source of energy or a portal atop that mountain top. And she would point atop the Mount Thorpe.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so you spend some time. You guys are kind of floating down the river slowly, so it's not really a big deal. And you look towards the mountain, and you request the guidance of your god, as to any kind of magical portal or force that may have, brought Ali or reconnected to Ali. And you sense that you kind of hear the voice of nature kind of swirling around you in the wind, and you feel a little bit kind of lightheaded as you look, and what you pick up is that there is some kind of prophecy that is to be fulfilled in 2 days' time at the mountain, and falsely Ali has been brought as part of it.
Yeah, Helene would relay that information to the rest of the party.
Falsely, you say.
Falsely
Yes.
been is brought as part of it.
Okay.
While she is doing that, Rowan Stooch will say, "I have my dust here. I can look to see if I can find Ali using it. But I would need to rest for some time afterwards."
Um, I got a quick question for you, Daniel.
Mhm.
What's happening with his familiar? Is it there or is it gone?
The familiar is there.
Okay.
Yep. I will say, because the familiar is smart and has been around the party, it is going to stick with the party for now. It didn't fall. It didn't go where he went. Like it flew up after him, obviously, or they. I don't remember. Can't remember your familiar's name. Uh, flew up after, but then when he kind of it's a raven, right? Flew back down and now is with the party.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the vicinity of the party, anyways. I have to just check something really quickly, but I think that. I mean, certainly, because it can't talk unless it's talking with Ali, right?
He could talk. He could talk in rudimentary,
Oh, right, but it
they-
doesn't. It's only an animal. I mean, so it's not like going to be able to.
no, he's a spirit, like some
Okay.
sort of a bound ancient spirit to the witch.
Okay. All right. All right. All right. Okay. Uncanny intellect. Uh.
It's different from wizards familiar in that it
Right.
is.
Yeah. I'm looking at it. Yep.
Yeah.
Because it may know something. Just want to see how much it would know. Okay. Yeah. So. So the what's the affiliate's name? Sorry.
Kasim. Yeah, Kasim.
Yeah. So Kasim. Lands, near the party. And it will say, Ali, lost. That was my crow or raven voice. I think.
Pretty good.
You get one voice per session. That was it. You got the voice.
Yes.
Lost, huh? Well,
I think that's true. I think I'm reading this right. Yeah.
I think we have to find this portal in the mountain.
If I can have just an hour, I can see if I can find Ollie and see if he's okay or not.
Okay, fine with me.
Okay, so I'm going to use my Dust of Nightmares and Visions. I'm going to
Okay.
set up a little area and I'm going to get high.
All right. I'm assuming you're
And,
going to stop going down the river, or you want to, like, where do you want to end up? Right now, you're kind of where I don't know if you guys can see. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, Chris. I just want to know if you want to stop or not. You're like right around at this corner piece, like where the hexes meet. If you do this for an hour or so, you're probably going to be like down further this way. So you're getting further from the mountain. So do you want to stop, or you want to keep going down the river as you're preparing this stuff? Or do you want to go back? Whoever's doing the boat, I guess.
I think we should stop and be right there at the banks.
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, so you're on the shore. Okay, perfect. Sorry, Crystal. Now tell me.
Huh? Yeah.
You're saying
And
that.
so I have a D12 chance. So I guess you get to determine how well I know the subject, but I get a +1 if I'm in the possession of something that the caster that's something that belongs to the caster. So I'm gonna use the crow, and I have a well-informed description of the subject as well. So that'll also give me another +1 if I can do
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I would imagine that. Yeah, exactly. You know the subject very well. You've been traveling with Ollie for months now, if not years, actually, because there was time in between the sessions where you guys were together.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you got to do?
So if the subject is well known by the caster, there's 11 and 12 out of 12 chance that it'll work. But I have a +2, so I guess that would automatically work.
Sounds that way. What's it? It works like a spell. Is that what it is, or it's just
It works like a
it,
C spell, which is on
like
page
see?
204.
Okay. Except you can have nightmares or something after,
Yes,
right? Right.
I have to take, and if I don't rest for 8 hours, I'll have a -2 on my attack penalties
Okay. Fair enough.
and stuff.
Take a quick look. See what I tell you. See spell.
But I can see any single creature at any distance, including a 5-foot radius around the subject.
Okay. Okay, yeah, you definitely, yeah, as you said, it's well known, and you have the Raven there, so you are, and also well informed description, I guess, if you want to put that. So yeah, you're definitely more than 12, so you can automatically succeed. So you sniff the dust, or however you know that, you're like, and you kind of lay back and dream of Ali, and what you see is let's see how much time has gone by. Not much. You see Ali. Um, he is, because you can only see him, you can't hear him, right? So it's like a crystal ball. So you're just looking at him. You see he is walking down a pathway. It's at first actually it kind of shocks your eyes because it is incredibly bright, like the middle of the summer, like when there's no like when you started this campaign, when the sun doesn't set for at all. Like it's super bright, and you see him walking. Also, he seems to be disoriented because of it's so bright. He is walking with or surrounded by many, at least 10 um, men, for lack of a better word. They're roughly shaped like men, but they're a bit taller. Well, a bit taller. They're about 9 feet tall. They each of them possesses 3 legs instead of 2. Kind of in a they have wide hips. They have 3 legs, and each possesses 4 eyes and 5 arms,
Hmm.
2 and 2, and then 1 in the center. They seem to be trying, or either conversing with or trying to converse with Ali as they walk through this really bright landscape, and all of the kind of the stones on the ground are kind of this like very very intense green, almost like they're walking on gemstones. And the foliage, the trees and stuff, which is of course growing because it's light and it seems like the summer, as opposed to where you are now, where it's bleak and dark. All of it is kind of this strange kind of reddish brown color. So it looks very odd and different than anything you've seen before. It looks like a dream.
Okay.
But he seems to be walking with them, and uninjured.
Okay, uninjured. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
All
You can
right.
only see around about 5 feet around him, right? So
Right.
you kind of circle around a bit, and you see that there's more of these people than you can count. You gather at least a dozen around him, people, and you don't see anything that looks like a city, but they are walking on what is clearly some kind of a path of these green stones.
Okay. All right. So Rowan Sage will come out of her trance, and she falls to the deck and she begins to relay everything that she saw. The strange men and the green path, and that Ollie does seem to be okay for now.
Okay. Well, we should find him before he's no longer that way, I suppose. Which with Ali, you never know. He could try to dance for the wrong person. So, well, any idea how we get to the place you saw, Rowan Siege?
No idea at all. I have no idea where that place was.
Okay.
I mean, it was bright as if it were summer.
From the information that I gleaned from my god, it seems like our path would lead to someplace close to Mount Forp. And if Ali is there by mistake, as if he is mistaken for a part of a prophecy, then we have to let these creatures understand that he does not belong there.
Yes.
All right.
There was at least a dozen of these creatures. I have no idea how powerful they are, or how violent they might potentially be. They at least hadn't heard Ollie at this point.
Well, that's a good sign. Mount Forp it is.
Okay. Ravna, if you're all in as well, then
Yeah.
you head towards Marfort. Cool enough. Rush, roll me 3d6.
3d6 I. All right.
Let's see.
I'll have my 3d6. I have to roll them separately. Hold on. 4. 3, and 1. So 8 total. 4, 3, and
Nice.
1.
Okay. What were you gonna say, Crystal?
I was gonna ask before you continue. I was wondering how long it'll take to sail over there, because if it's gonna take like 8 hours, Rowan Siege would like to take a nap under the deck or whatever, just in
You're
case
gonna
we're
be
attacked.
walking.
Oh, okay. All right. That's fine.
Yeah. I mean, you could wait 8 hours, but you're traveling across the frozen wasteland on foot. It's probably gonna take you the better part of today to get to the foot of the mountain.
Yeah.
So
No.
you could sleep now if you wanted to, but you'll be delayed 8 hours.
No. Yeah. No. I don't. I mean, yeah. To go was fine. I was just
Okay.
making sure.
No problems. All right, yeah. So you are traveling for you. I'm assuming you take the boat with you. You fold up the boat, and you set out towards the. Actually, don't you still have some men left? Did they all die? No, you still have a few, right?
We went and
I think
rescued them.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
rescued everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
we
right. I don't think
rescued-
did you lose any of them? No, you guys are pretty good. Okay.
No,
So
it
you got a
says-
bunch of people. So did
Yep.
you want to leave them with the boat, or you want to take the boat and all the people with you? How do you want to do that? Or leave them on the shore with no boat? I guess you have many options.
I think leaving them with the boat would be okay.
I was just about to say, I don't know if they're actually going to want to come into Mount Fort, but I think it's going to be weird, and they probably will not like it very much.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think leaving them with the boat will be fine if it's okay with everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, besides, we got those 2 mighty characters with names.
That's right. Do I not have my sheet? Okay, good. That's fine. I don't need them right now, so I will not find the sheet. Okay, that's what I was just checking. Okay. So you leave them on the shore with the boat, or without. No, with the boat, and you head towards the mountain. You're traveling for it was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so it's getting close to the end of the day when you see off at a distance of about almost 100 yards away. You're in kind of these flat wetlands that are, of course, mostly frozen now. You see a group of riders on horses, actually. They are, like I said, about 100 yards away. They are not surprised. I don't think. Let's see. Oh, actually, they don't see you. You don't think. You hear the horses. You don't. And you see them moving. They're not rushing fast, but they're going by. But you can clearly see them, but they're kind of off to the side, and it doesn't look like they've spotted you yet. There are. Okay. There's about 50 of them
Oh.
on horses. So 100 yards away, they don't see you currently.
We
And then
should.
Are
we
they
should-
riding towards us?
Mm-mm. No, I mean, they're kind of going, like you're heading this way, and they're kind of coming like they're going to cross your path, but going away from you, if that makes sense. So they're coming towards you in the sense that physically they're coming towards you, but if you were to stop, and assuming they didn't see you, they would not encounter you because they're 100 yards away and they're going kind of a diagonal in front of you, if that makes sense. You're heading back towards the river, basically.
Okay.
Revna speaks up and says we should let them pass.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes, I say we don't mess with them.
Okay. You duck down or whatever in the wetlands. It's moonlit, but still relatively dark. They ride past, and you count, as I said, nearly 50 of them. They never get much closer. In fact, they're at such an angle that they get slightly further away, and then they kind of pass you. They look like they were Khromarium riders, on horses with lances, almost like a small war band. Why they'd be over here, in fact, so close to the mountain, you're not sure. It seems a little bit odd, but apparently nothing that you need to deal with right this second. Nice. All right. Cool. That being said, you move forward for a couple more hours, and you have to bunk down for the night in order to rest. I mean, you could try, you could push straight through if you want, but you'll be, risking being extra tired when you get to the mountain. So if you bunk down now, you could probably get to the mountain with about 5 or 6 hours travel in the morning. Or you
Okay.
could get all the way to the mountain now if you want to be closer to it. That's up to you. But you do risk, being tired.
No, I think we don't want to get to the mountain exhausted. I say to everybody else. Always
Yeah.
good to face these kinds of things as fresh as possible. We don't know what we're gonna face.
If you don't mind, I would like to skip taking a watch on this time so that I can rest from that powder I took earlier.
Okay.
She did the drugs and now she's tired.
I can I can handle it.
Okay. You want to do a double watch?
I can. I will, unless Helene wants to, but I'm willing to.
You guys bunk down. The at least familiar lands near you again, and it says safe for now. Twice you got the voice. Twice.
Well, it's a good voice for Crow. I'll say thank you. Did Ali ever tell us what his bird's name was?
Kasim. Yeah, I mean, over the years, you probably learned the bird's name.
Okay, Hasim, right?
Kasim.
Kasim, that's right. Like Rahman. Okay.
Rahman Al Kasim.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's
Kasim
just
is the bird.
Kasim.
I just didn't write it down. I know you said it earlier,
So
but I
far,
didn't.
in another
catch it.
world,
Yeah.
the raven becomes a fighter pilot.
A pilot. Oh my god, that's amazing. I'll just say, well, thank you, Kasim. And safe for now is probably a good assessment. I just hope we get there in time. And she'll go back to watch.
Okay. Then the rest of the night passes, relatively quietly. I mean, there's some animals that you hear out here, but nothing aggressively moves towards the camp. It's cold, but you're used to that. This time of year you're bundled down with the with heavy furs and a small fire to obviously to keep away animals, but also to keep yourselves warm. And you each do your shifts, allowing my brain's not working. Allowing Rosich to sleep and thus regain strength from the magical powders that she took. Yeah, and of course, obviously, you get up and move before the sun actually comes up because the sun doesn't come up till 10:30 in the morning. So you get up, once you've had some rest and move forward towards the mountain. By the time the sun is starting to crest the horizon around 10:30, you can see you're getting pretty close to the mountain. Mount Thorpe is quite tall. It is ice capped, and it is of blackest stone as you get close. So you've got like a lot of reflections of the morning light off the ice on the top and the stone on the mountain itself. As you're kind of heading towards the mountain, you can see that there's actually almost like a natural. You probably didn't realize it because it was dark, and you just kind of you're naturally going to walk in the way that's the easiest to walk. But you realize that you've actually been coming kind of moving down almost into a bit of a valley, and you can see the kind of the roots of the mountain kind of coming out around you, almost as if you're approaching a huge blackened tree. Um, and you can see off in the distance, maybe like a quarter of a mile in front of you, as the sun kind of rips across, that there is a very unnatural looking, like sudden drop, like a hole, basically in the ground, sinkhole, for lack of a better word. It's not huge. It's probably like maybe 100 yards across, and you are quite a distance from it, but you do notice it as like the light's kind of going across the surface, and yes, all the rock is black and everything, but you see like the ground, and then all of a sudden it's like getting that sunlight twinkling across it, and then there's just like this empty void, and you realize there's actually a hole there. Again, it's not perfectly round, but it definitely seems unnatural.
Okay. Unnatural. Can we?
We're rested, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
you're fully rested. You've been traveling now for like about 4 or 5 hours, but you have all your spells and hit points and stuff.
Okay. All right.
All right. We should walk up to this thing.
Okay, you're just gonna walk towards it.
Um,
Ruin
Carefully.
Siege will. Yeah.
yeah. Always
It's a
carefully.
you walk carefully for a quarter of a mile. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
as you move, yeah, you move closer, and you can definitely see like it's not like you're going into a valley, but again, the roots of the mountain seem to like be coming out around you. It's almost like if you were shrunk real small and walking up to a tree, or the tree was gigantic. So you're kind of shadowed now from the sun, even as you're kind of entering into this valley caused by the roots. And as you get closer, you can see that indeed, it is a pretty unnatural occurrence because it is almost perfectly round, the sinkhole, about 100 yards in diameter. When you get closer to it, you kind of look over the edge, you can see it drops down about 200 feet. The bottom is perfectly flat, and in the center of you don't take out a protractor, but looks like almost the exact center of it, there is a very small hut. It's one of those the kind of round, like low walls and like sloping round roofs. It looks like it's made out of the soil around it, like dark mud, but it's completely made of mud. The walls, that is, and then the roof looks like it's patched with various grasses and stuff from the wetlands around. On initial look, you don't see any, inside the sinkhole, you don't see any ladders or staircases or anything that would lead you down. It just seems to be sitting out there by itself.
Okay. All right.
I think a witch lives here. I think we should just go around, mind our own business.
Can you get around?
You could skirt around it. You don't. Then you would. You could get closer. You're going to eventually get to where the roots start to come together on the tree. You don't. You don't see anything stopping you, but you don't see any necessarily other way up the mountain from here. You might have to go back the way you came if you want to try to completely skirt around it.
Oh, so like
unless you have some way you can fly or something, I suppose. But as far as walking up.
So it's like if we don't go down there, we have to go back, sort of thing.
Well, you could go forward past it as well, yeah. But what you see in front of you is, again, these big like roots coming out, roots.
Mm-hmm.
So they come together. You would basically be, you could walk like another quarter of a mile, but then you would be kind of at the end of this passageway.
Okay.
You could definitely, go back out if you want. It'd probably take you an hour or so to walk back out.
I look at Rowan Siege and say, I agree with you. I think a witch or some sort of magic creature lives here, but it doesn't mean they're evil. And I don't know that we have a lot of choice, unless you want to go back and find a different way up the mountain, but that could take however long. And the bird did say Ali was safe for now, so.
All right. Well, let's take our chance, I guess.
I can fly us down there if you want on the carpet, or we could.
We could fly over on the carpet.
Could. We absolutely could.
Take a few trips, but
then we'd only have another. I suppose we could try to find a way up the mountain once we're on the other side. What do you think, Helene or Revna?
Your carpet only works a certain number of times a day.
Oh no, I can do it however much I want. Because I'm Pinesta the Bard. No, kidding. Just because no, it doesn't. It can. It's just that the more we fly over, the more chance that somebody down there will see us. So.
It can only hold so much weight.
Correct. I'd have to take you guys one at a time.
I've seen Rowan Siege fly before.
Yes, but that'll really attract attention.
Okay. Well, this seems like a good time to pull out a new spell of mine. How far away is that hut?
Okay, so it's about 100. Well, I'm not going to worry about down. We'll just go straight angle. It's in the center of so it's 50 yards.
Mm-hmm. Oh, 50
yards.
Okay, 50 yards.
Yeah, 150 feet. 50 yards.
150 feet. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me look at my spell to see how far I can go.
43.2 meters.
150
I
feet.
don't know that.
You said?
150. Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, I can definitely do it. Okay. Um, I say, well, tell you what, I have a new spell that I've recently learned how to do, and this seems like the perfect time. I can go down there without actually going down there and see what's in that hut.
That's interesting.
So I'm just gonna do that, and
Yep,
and
let's
maybe
do
we'll
that.
know more. So Rowan Siege will sit on the ground cross-legged, as she has to do, and she will close her eyes and she will conjure forth an invisible oculus. She is not going to cause it to light up. It can light up, but she's not going to cause it to light up. And she is going to send it. It moves at 30 feet and can see 60 feet ahead of itself. Oh, if the light's present, lacking illumination, the light can see with infrared red vision to a range of 30 feet.
Okay, so you can. I guess the range is 2 points. You're going to drop it right in front of the hut, so you can, because you only have what, 7 or 8 rounds, something like that, 8 rounds.
Yes, only have 8
Okay.
rounds. Yeah.
Yeah, so you yep, up here right in front of the hut, and there's light down here. It's not particularly bright, but there's light. You look around. The hut is, as Ness noted, there is actually no door on it. As you kind of you see no door. You kind of circle around the hut looking for. I'm assuming that you're going to do this. If you want to do something different, let me know. Going around it, and when you get to the other side, you do see that there's like a doorway, but the doorway is there's no door. It's just an opening, and it kind of, you come around. It's like dark for a second, and then like that goes, and then it switches to infrared vision. And you can see inside, and sitting inside there is piles of hay, uh, human bones, and sitting in the center on like a very big pile of hay is a large hog.
A large hog.
Yeah, like a very large hog, probably larger than any hog you've seen. It's sitting down, so it's hard to say, but it's probably 4 to 5 foot at the shoulder, maybe 600-700 pounds.
Okay.
And it seems to just have it. It has like its head down. It doesn't seem to notice anything. It's just kind of, you're not sure if it might be sleeping.
It doesn't
Oh, and
say.
also, sorry. And also, there is a trapdoor on the floor that you can see, and the trapdoor is closed. So there's the hog, and then there's also a trapdoor, but it's closed.
Okay.
And the
It
ground is
doesn't-
dirt. I should have mentioned all this stuff. Sorry, the ground is dirt, but there's this like wooden trapdoor there, which probably seems out of place.
Okay. It doesn't say I can't speak while I'm doing this. So if I can, I would like to relay what I'm seeing.
Okay. Oh, you're saying you, Rowan Seach, speaking to the
Rowan
party?
Siege.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't see why not.
Yeah. So Rowan Siege will be telling what she sees about the hog and the bones and everything. She would like to float the eye over to that trap door
Mhm.
and see if there's like a keyhole or anything that she could see in, or I don't know how big this Oculus is supposed to
Sure.
be.
It doesn't say anything about it being able to squeeze through small spaces, so I'm assuming that it's probably the size of like an eyeball, right?
Okay. Mhm.
Which is pretty small. You see that it is sitting on the dirt. You can see that it's like around the edges. There's some like it's not perfectly flat. So from being lifted and closed, it seems like it's been operated many times. There's no keyhole or anything on it, but there is a large ring. It looks like it's probably, based on what you can see, it doesn't look like you actually lift it like a key or whatever. It looks like you actually drag it. It's almost like it's sitting on top of something, because you can see the drag marks all around it. Yeah, it doesn't. You actually notice that it doesn't seem like it's sitting back all the way that it should be. So there is actually a small space you can get close to look down into, if you want.
Okay. Yeah, she'll definitely do that.
Okay. You get close to it and you kind of look down, and what you can see is there is make a save versus turn to stone. No, I'm just kidding. No, Medusa's looking up at you. No, you see you see a set of stairs. The stairs are like obsidian black. They're absolutely black. So at first you're kind of looking and you're just like, what is this? Just like absolute darkness. So what you can see is there's no light down here, but you can see a set of stairs perfectly carved into the going on down into the darkness. They go down more than 30 feet though, and your eye cannot fit through the hole. So you can
Okay.
see stairs going straight down 30 feet.
All right. I'll relay all that information. And I'm going to keep my eyes closed for as long as I can in case Nesta wants to know anything else or anyone else wants to know anything.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been so just mechanically, it's been like 4 rounds. So you got about another like minute or so, a little less than a minute.
Okay.
Like not in real time, but just say if you want to do other things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I look at the others. I say, it seems ominous, but safe enough for now. We should go down, I guess.
What should we do about that hog?
I can, let's see.
While I'm there, can I look around the hog and stuff and see if I see anything out of the ordinary about it? Like maybe it looks like a demon hog.
Or a hog witch. Like, see if it's like actually a witch disguised as a hog.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you know.
Roll a
A
d6.
demon hog.
It's
Sounds
right.
like a metal band. Demon hog tonight only.
Demon hog with their opening band, Hog Witch.
Yes.
We
So
had a
rolled a
man witch
4.
before, so
All right, so forth. So you definitely notice that the hog is exceptionally large.
Okay.
There are what appear to be, now you're looking at it closer. At first, there's bones all around. Some of them look humanoid, though some of them are quite odd, like the way that the joints and stuff. They just seem weird. Like you can't quite, you don't have enough time to. You're not a doctor, and you also didn't roll that well, so you're not sure why, but they just look uncanny. Like they don't look exactly like at first from a distance, just looking, it was like, okay, this thing's eating people. But as you look at it, it doesn't quite seem like they're humans. They're just human-like, whatever it's eating. It's quite shaggy. You can't tell the color because it's infrared vision, right? So you can just see the thing. It's quite hot, of course, because it's a pig in a cold space. It has big tusks, like as hogs do. Otherwise, it kind of looks like a really gross giant hog. It looks like it would be quite dangerous to an untrained fighter, because obviously a 650-pound, 700-pound hog is gonna.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to
Yeah.
have 4 villagers chasing this thing down with some pitchfork.
Meta, would it be considered like medium size or?
Oh no, it is. Yeah. Sorry, it's for a hog, it's large, but for like in meta, it's medium. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'll relay all that again.
Yeah, it's smaller than a horse or something like that, but it's big for a hog.
Okay.
Okay.
I assume a horse is large. I never really actually. It must be, right? Because you have to be. I must know.
I think so. I'm not sure.
Yeah, horses are large. Yeah, because you would need to be large to carry a person, I would imagine.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
yeah.
a small person might be able to ride on it, but not effectively as a mount.
Yeah. I was
There
just,
goes-
trying to make sure I got all the angles down.
No, it's good. Good questions.
There goes my
No.
dream of riding through the mountain on the back of a shaggy boar. All right. Well,
hogs make excellent sentry because when they're alert, they make a lot of noise. They squeal extremely loudly.
that is true. You say you thought it was eating some sort of humanoid creature, Rowan Siege?
Yes, they don't look human though. It's hard to explain.
Okay, but no other kinds of scraps down there. So It's not like we could like try to poison it or something. Of course, I don't have any poison on me, but Revna might.
Mhm.
But I don't know what I would poison if it eats not quite people.
Well, we could perhaps put Rowan Siege on the flying carpet so that she wouldn't have to open her eyes.
And
This
it
spell
only,
is the spell is gone by now.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say
Okay.
the spell. Yeah.
yeah,
It only lasted for what 80 seconds. So
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Revenant would speak up and say, I'm not really an assassin, but I typically carry a vial with me, but we haven't been home in a really long time. So I don't have any.
Okay. Well, it wasn't really it wasn't really a good idea anyway, because like I said, we don't know really what it would eat.
yeah. I
Although,
bet
of
Ali would have poison on him though.
course- yes. Well, he's not here. Which
Helene, being the Amazon warrior priestess goes, well, if it is only a hog, we are mighty warriors, all of us.
that's true. You are right, Helene, and I don't want to
Not,
back.
nope.
Go ahead.
I
Go
just
ahead.
want to say that I'm not so much worried about the hog necessarily. I'm worried about whatever the hog might be protecting under that trap door.
Right. But
But
maybe
if oh,
go ahead. Go ahead.
if we can, maybe we should just go around the hut and you know, continue traveling past it. Not we don't have to go to the hut, I don't think, right? We could just go around it to continue our journey.
yeah, you're asking me. Yeah, you could go around the hut, the sinkhole, and towards the mountain where the roots kind of come together. You didn't see any other way to kind of get up the mountain. You could go check that out. It would take you about an hour or so to get there. And then if it doesn't pan out, you come back out if you want. Climbing the mountain from this area would be very difficult. Although, as noted, some of you can fly, because it is basically like basically flat black obsidian most of the rock here. It's hard to kind of pull out the detail of the mountain when you're walking when it was dark because it's black basically, and you've got like the sun's just coming up now, so you have roughly 3 hours ish of sun before it's going to be dark again and really hard to see, and that'll put you right around the 24-hour point of when Ali got taken.
Okay, so I think it would be really hard to find another way up the mountain unless we tried to fly. But as again, I can't fly everyone, and I don't think Helene and Revna could fly at all. And our other flyer is the one we're going to rescue. So
I mean, I can sort of fly, but I'd rather keep a hold of it. But I've got the ability to take the form of a wraith, which is gray and wispy clouds, and I can just float over. But so far the spell hasn't come in handy for much of anything else.
I don't think
Wow.
that's kind of the type of I mean, to go up a mountain, I don't know.
Oh, well, I mean, all the way up, yeah. That might be a little far.
I can fly. It's just going to be very noticeable.
Right. Which would defeat the purpose. We could go down and try to see if we could go around the hut down there. It's in the center, right? Which means there's edges. We could probably try to skirt the edges.
Yeah, it's not very big. It's only like the hut's only maybe like 50, 60 feet across, so you could easily drop down and skirt around the edges if you want to.
And as
Check the rest of the sinkhole. Yeah.
And as Helene said, we are fierce warriors. If we have to fight the pig, even though I think Rowan teaches right that the pig is probably more than just a pig or is hiding something that's, decidedly more dangerous than tomorrow's breakfast, then we'll have to go. I think we go down, we skirt the edges and see if we can't get through without encountering the denizens of the hut or the pig. But that's just my opinion.
No, I mean, at this point, it's as good a plan as any.
We have to find Ali. So,
Yep, and we're wasting time.
Lead the way, Panesta. I'm with you as always.
now, do you want me just to ferry everybody down on the carpet? It will take a bit of time, but down the pit.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds good. Sooner
Okay.
we get started, the sooner we're done.
So I want to try to fly down in a way that's fly carefully, But
You want to like fly like you want to make like an elevator, like literally float the
I
carpet
don't
right over the
yeah,
edge
like
and just
on the
drop
edges.
down and
Yeah,
back
yeah,
up.
yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
so try
yeah,
to be as
totally
not
doable.
noticeable as possible. I know it's pretty noticeable to have a flying carpet, but
I don't know. Fly casual.
exactly.
But you're
Exactly.
staying
It makes
close to
any
the edge.
sound.
You're not gonna fly out in the center where the
Correct.
so
Correct.
you're
Yeah.
gonna be a good 45 yards away from the
Okay.
hut.
All right.
Is basically where
So-
you want to be, right? Okay.
And
So, yeah,
hope
you're
something
able
worse
to-
doesn't live on the edges.
Exactly. Yeah, so you're able to you set up your elevator. You drop down each person one at a time, and you get to the bottom. You gotta roll back up the flying carpet, I'm assuming, and then
Correct. Yes.
walk around the edge. Okay. Yeah, so you do that. That takes 5 minutes, or whatever, and you've got everybody down at the bottom now. Again, this is like packed black dirt. You can skirt along the sides of it pretty easily, staying a good 40 yards away from the hut if you prefer. You know actually that you currently the door, based on the Rowan Siege's reconnaissance is on the other side. So as far as somebody, the pig or anything in the hut seeing you, you're pretty safe right now. You know that once you get about halfway across, it'll probably be able to, if it's looking at the door, it might see you. But otherwise, you're pretty good, and you move as quietly as possible along the walls of the. You want to go to the left or to the right?
Left, right?
Left.
Okay.
Correct.
Sorry,
Left.
I didn't mean to do that.
Left, right, left. Okay. Yeah. So you turn, you head off to the left, following the wall as closely as possible. You get to almost, the hut's like in the center. You get to basically, if you count at the center of the clock, right? And let's say you guys started at 12. When you get to like 3, so kind of on the side of the hut, you actually notice that there is what is effectively a passageway, crevasse. It's absolutely jet black in there, super dark, so it looked just like the wall from the distance. But as you're kind of walking and you're close to the wall, trying to stay close to the wall, suddenly there's like, whoa, there's a space here. And you can see that it's not very wide. It's like maybe 4 foot wide. It looks like a passageway. It's about 4 foot wide. It's about 8 foot tall. And you can see it goes into the darkness. Of course, at that point it's dark and nobody will be able to see. But right now you're navigating by the bits of the sun's out. But remember, the Hyperborean sun in the winter is low in the sky, so you're just getting like
Right.
bits. So it's almost like twilight basically. So you can see where you are currently. You can see pretty well, but if you go into this area, it'll be dark.
Okay.
And then of course you could keep skirting around if you want. If you go any far further, you'll be kind of in the front of the hut where the doorway was. If you want to look in there or do whatever, if you want to check the rest of the walls,
I could go invisible and look. Or do you guys just want to avoid the hut altogether? Try to avoid it altogether.
I kind of want to avoid it altogether if possible.
Okay.
Helene turns to that bird and says, Kasim, I know that you have some sort of link with your master. Do you sense him in any direction?
So yeah, the Kasim, you just want to hear my bird voice again. Kasim says, mountain.
Helene looks at Panessa and says, I'm with you whichever way you choose.
Okay. You guys want to go the other way to try to avoid? Just
It
go
does
the other.
look like an entrance into the mountain.
Okay. But do we want to? Yeah.
Oh.
Let's just go ahead.
I think we should just walk down the passage and see where it leads.
I agree. But We want to try to avoid the front of the hut, don't we? If we can.
Well, I mean, we're pretty far away now. Hopefully, they won't be able to see us, or if they do, that, you know, whatever's living there may not be able to catch up to us.
Unless there's a hidden trap that would alert our presence.
Well,
Well,
Revna, do you want?
I'll follow up the rear because I have spells that I can throw at a range if anything does decide to come out of that hut.
Okay.
I'll be alert for traps, and she casts find traps.
Oh, nice. Smart. Okay, so right, just so everything's clear, it's basically a circle, right? You guys came in like where my thumbs are touching. The hut's in the center. You've kind of moved around this way, and you're kind of on the side here. You see this passageway going off. If you keep going around the edge of the circle, you'll be in front of the hut, thus exposing yourself. So you're choosing not to do that, and you're going to go down this passageway that you see. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fair enough. That seems like the logical thing to do. Perfect. All right, so who's going first? And you're going into the dark. It is pretty narrow, so you could put your hand on the wall if you want to walk into the darkness, as opposed to lighting light while you're out here in the open. And you do have a find trap spell in effect, so that's always useful.
Yeah.
But, who's
I'm not
going?
going to light up any kind of torch until we get a little bit further away from the hut. Me personally. Yeah.
Who's going first?
I'll go with her.
Oh, you assuming
What?
I'm going first? Okay.
Well, aren't you flying? Okay, did I misunderstand? Are you not flying us?
Not any. I flew you down into the
Oh,
the hole. Now we're walking with our like right around the edge of the hole.
I'll still go first.
I thought Helene was going first because she has fun traps up.
Find traps, yeah.
Okay, Helene, go first.
She nods,
Okay,
and she
Helene's gonna go
takes the
first.
point. Yep.
All right, yeah, and she's also probably the most heavily armored. Although I don't think she has the best armor class, but she technically is pro. Yeah, so Helene goes first with a hand against the wall so you don't trip over and you can see where you're going. Let's see. Path of detection, 30 feet long, 10 foot wide. Oh, you actually know you have to put your hands out in front of you. You're like, traps. Traps, like the monkey. Like the
Okay,
mummy.
I'm going to
Okay, cool.
I'm going to cast Candle to make a 15-foot radius of light, and I'm gonna place it on the front of her armor so that she can see.
Okay. On her belt.
Yes.
See, I brought that back, right? So like that. All right, so you cast a candle onto her belt, and she can see now, and she's got her hands forward. She's walking. All right, cool. You are moving. Roll a d6 for me, Young.
Yeah, we just made ourselves very visible.
Just you.
Right.
5.
Okay, no, that's pretty good though. Okay, yeah, so you are walking forward, paying attention to traps, and apparently its timing is bad because it's been here for a while. In front of you, you notice the ground shift and this dark shape starts to like form like amorphous shape into like it's like into a humanoid type shape. It's kind of when it has a pseudopod, it's reaching out at you. It's about 30 feet away from you. It's kind of moving forward. It looks like it's some kind of a creature that was hidden there, but failed to surprise you because of your good roll. So you see this creature forming in front of you. You're only in like a 8-foot wide or 4-foot wide passageway. So you're totally in the front, Helene. Everybody else is right behind you. What does everybody want to do? You can see this thing. It clearly is some kind of a monster. I don't think there's really any kind of a question about that. What would you like to do, Road Seeker, in the back? Assuming you can see that. I mean, I'll just assume everybody can see it because you're all kind of paying attention, but you're probably at least 40, 45 feet away from it. through 3 people.
Ooh.
Helene would hush her voice and say, "It's a hostile monster."
I'm gonna go spell.
Okay. How about Helene right up front with the thing?
She is going to. I have no idea what that is, right?
I don't think you guys ever encountered this before. No, it seems like some kind of a blob forming into a humanoid shape.
Okay. Well, she's a warrior priestess, so yeah, she's gonna take out her hammer and get ready for battle. Charge and attack.
Okay. How about Penesta?
Yeah, I will. I don't know anything about it. I'll pull out my sword for now.
Okay, it'll be hard for you to use a sword behind Helene. The place is only 4 feet wide.
Oh, that's
I mean,
right.
you can
That's
certainly
right.
do that just in case she dies, but
Um,
it's like 4x8, so like she's not even gonna have time with the hammer swinging in here. Even yeah.
okay. Well,
I mean, you
I
could
don't
do it. I'm
really.
just saying.
Yeah.
You could try to stab around her, but it's gonna be a penalty. Is all I'm saying.
Well, I'll just get it. I'll just get it ready. I'll just
Okay.
ready my sword.
All right. How about Revna in the third from the back or second from the back?
Can I get a bow shot through them to the creature?
It will be incredibly difficult. There's 2 people in front of you. I mean, if Vanessa smashes up against the wall, you still have Helene in front of you. So yeah, you'll be at a penalty. But if you miss, you're definitely gonna hit Helene.
If you tell Helene to like move or something, she could duck and not attack this round, I guess.
So it's only if I miss, I definitely hit Helene. It's not like if I roll.
If you miss, you
Something.
definitely hit Helene, assuming that because
Eh.
she's literally in the way. That would be the only reason why you would mesh her in a tiny little space.
All right. Then I'll like Penesta. I'll just get the bow ready.
Okay. Roll initiative, young, since you. I mean,
Oh, boy.
take her at this point. Like, don't get Helene killed. 3.
It's 1d6, right?
Yeah, straight D6. Dude.
5.
Oh, all right, you guys are going first. Okay, so movement / melee goes first. You charge forward. You can attack with the hammer against this thing. It's got a pretty easy hit, actually.
Here we go. Here we go. Magic hammer.
Magic hammer.
Magical +1. Here we go. Boom.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, terrible damage, but
Yeah.
but good hit. All right. Yeah, you strike into this thing. For 4 points of damage. As you know, you're like probably you did minimal damage because the space is so small. You got this big hammer, and you're just like, oh, and you kind of you whack this, and you have to like jerk out. What do you call it? When you slide your hands up onto it, so you'll get a good swing. And you crack this thing, and actually you can the head area. It just kind of goes, and then it kind of starts to form back, but it doesn't quite do it as quickly as you would think it should. So it definitely hurt it, and you hear kind of like a sound as you kind of look around, and you can see that some of the stuff is flecked off of it and hit the wall, and you can see it's actually like bubbling up. So you definitely knock pieces of it off.
She yells out, "It's corrosive, it's acid, and it's regenerating." She yells out.
Nice. Spell. For Road Siege.
I'm just going to say first, Helene is basically Thor at this point. So
more or less.
I'm casting flaming missile at this thing. So I point my finger forward and go bang and shoot 4 flaming darts at it. It
Oh,
doesn't
nice.
happen to be undead, does it?
Not as far as you can tell, no.
Okay, because if it is undead, my spell does more. But
oh, awesome! No, it's not dead.
Okay, 8 points of damage.
Nice.
Wow, that is 4 ones. I rolled 4 ones.
Wow, the damage is low here. The missiles hit the amorphous shape, and as it does, it's almost like dropping a match into a bucket of water. It just goes tss, and doesn't seem to affect it at all. Now it's going to try to strike at Helene. And then the people who held their actions can do something if you want. Okay, so it's going to roll a straight d20 roll. 14. 14 hits an armor class of 3. Is that her?
Yeah, her armor class is 3.
Yeah, so it reaches out and slashes into Helene. The pressure hits you in the chest, almost like a huge sack of water smacking into you. You take 5 points of damage.
Oof.
Concussive damage, as you kind of get knocked back a little bit, and you hear on your magical armor.
Ooh,
Mm.
yikes.
Also, it doesn't pull back. You realize that like the pseudopod is like attached to you. It's not like pulling you towards it, but you can feel it like kind of starting to wrap around your body as it's attached to you.
Oh no.
Yeah. Cool. And okay, people who held their actions. So Panesta, I'm doing it in the order that you are. Did you want to do anything? You can see that this thing now is attached to the front of Helene.
Yeah.
And you can hear a hissing sound as its acid is trying to dig through the armor.
I don't know if this will work, but can I try to do paralyze on it?
Sure.
It's a goo,
Yeah,
so I'm not sure
right.
it'll work.
Okay.
But I
It's
want
a
to try.
spell, right?
hmm
Um,
Willpower adjustment, sorcery save modified by willpower. And I can affect twice as many HD as I have caster levels, so that would be 16. Because I have 8 caster levels, and I'm going to target a single individual, not a 20 by 20 foot area. I'm just going to target the creature.
right. You don't want to paralyze Helene.
No thanks. No.
All right. Well, it's an option.
If this thing is more than 16 hit die, I think we're all about to die.
Well, I don't know if it'll affect it because it's not. It doesn't really. I don't know, but we'll just see.
Let me just check something.
I can't think of anything else to do right this second. I don't think Helene
Well, I
wants me to
mean,
start.
it's. Check something. No. Okay. No. It is. I'm just going to give it a bonus. I'll say there's a chance to work because it is an illusion spell and it is an ooze, but I'm going to give it a +5 on its save because I'm not sure it should work at all, but I think there's a chance.
Yeah, I was thinking that because it doesn't really have like a
doesn't really have a
mind.
brain. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm just going to give it a save. We'll give it a +5.
Okay.
Oh, all right. That's still only 12. Its save is yeah. Okay, so it you see because it's been like, and it kind of like, and you get a feeling like it's frozen. Of course, it's still connected to Helene and burning through her armor, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be able to swing out of the pseudopod.
Okay.
Revna, did you want to try something?
With them having their combat up front, do I have the ability? Am I still at the same disadvantage with my
Yeah, I mean,
bow?
Helene is literally just like standing right in front of this. It's a 4-foot wide passage.
Okay, I didn't know if maybe she got moved to the side or something.
No, I mean, you could still shoot, but if you do, then it's it's just if you miss. So just don't miss, I guess.
Yeah.
I recommend not missing. Or you could run forward with a melee attack. At this point,
yeah, I'm gonna pull the 2 daggers and do that.
Okay, yeah, you do. You rush forward, past Panesta, and you do kind of like the around Helene, kind of double dagger attack. Go for it.
Oh,
do that.
okay.
Yeah, you can do this one. You held your action. You can do it.
Okay.
If you drop your bow on the ground, unless you want to stow your bow, then you can't do it.
Mine daggers, where are they at? Here we go. Daggers. All right, so when I'm dual wielding them, I get 2 attacks per round, right?
1 with each dagger. Yeah.
But it's at a -1
to each attack. Yeah.
Okay. So I've already worked that in with the +1. I took the +1 out. Okay.
Okay, that hits. They both hit. Okay.
Oh, nice. 8 points of damage.
Yeah, I mean it's paralyzed too, so
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I don't know. Did it automatically hit when they're paralyzed, or it just holds it still? Probably should
I
add roll for
don't
that.
know.
Yeah, no.
It doesn't
Yeah, I
let's
mean,
see.
I'll
It
just
doesn't
say you probably
say.
should. Yeah, you probably didn't have to roll. To be honest with you. Defenseless auto hit. Yeah. So with the melee attack, you can automatically hit the thing. Okay, coming into the next round. This thing does seem paralyzed. It's on Helena, like it's stuck to you.
Right.
So what would you like to do, Rowan Siege? You just saw Revna run forward and kind of do a reach around and stab into the ooze that was on Helene. The creature still seems to be solid, like it's holding its surface area, but it doesn't seem to be moving anymore. So Rowan
Spell.
Siege. Spell?
Yep,
Okay.
spell.
Helene, you got this thing right in front of you. It's like connected to your chest. You're muted, Jan.
Yeah, I didn't realize. Yep. Yeah, she tries to remove herself away from, the contact. And
Okay.
yeah, and once it's detached, she's gonna see if she could take out her ration, like a block of cheese or something.
Okay. I like this plan. Vanessa, what's your plan?
Well, I don't really
You
want
don't
to
have
use
to
my.
concentrate.
I don't think so. It's just one turn per cast. It doesn't say concentration. But I don't want my sword to touch this thing. So I'm gonna have. I have a few I have two actually little throwaway daggers, just secreted on my person. I'll try to take one out and pry this thing. See if I can pry this thing off Helene, and if not, I might have to start taking her armor off of her, which I know she probably won't like. But yeah.
I know she just got that magic armor. She's waiting this whole time.
Right.
All right,
Right.
so you get a melee attack basically. All right, so
Yeah. Sorry.
no, it's fine with the dagger. That makes sense. And Revna.
I'm going to keep attacking.
Okay, so I mean, assuming that Helene can step back, then she'll be in a position where you'll be able to do exactly what you want to do, Nesta. I mean, otherwise, there's just way too much of a cluster up there. So we'll probably just deal with that first. We'll call that like a grapple. So make an avoidance save, Helene. And you can add, if you have a strength modifier, you can add the 2-hit modifier from your strength.
Avoidance? Okay.
If so, that you can pull yourself off. Otherwise, there you go. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So you rip yourself back and stagger backwards. Probably pushing. Revenues like this. You guys are kind of a cluster. You kind of stumble backwards. Pieces of it are still on you, but it basically breaks away. And you're just like, I need some cheese. Okay. Okay. So Pinesta, you can you kind of get out of the way, and you have this dagger in your hand. Do you want to stab the thing still, or it's not on? It's not on Helene per se anymore. I mean, there's bits of it on her, but yeah.
No, if it's just paralyzed, then I say we just leave it and try to get around it now if we can.
You won't be able to get around. It's basically filling the passageway. You'll have to deal with it one way or the other. Yeah.
Okay, well, I don't want to stab it. I'm going to think of something else. I don't want to stab it anymore. Yeah.
All right. Did you want to stab it again?
Yep.
Your daggers, it is, you can, you have magical daggers, right?
Yeah.
You can see that the corrosion is on the daggers, but it doesn't seem to be eating into them at this moment. Yet. So go ahead, Malay.
All right.
So they're still functional as daggers.
Oof.
Okay. Yeah, those both hit. Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Because paralyzed. Yeah. So
Oh, yeah,
6
right.
points.
Automatically hits. Yeah, so you're just basically rolling damage. Okay.
6
so,
points.
Yeah, you stab into it, and it kind of like you can actually see it starting to like half frozen jello. It's starting to like, even though it's paralyzed, it's like starting to like drip and kind of fall. The surface area tension is starting to break on it. Rowan Siege. Spell.
Rowan Siege is going to cast Candlelight, so they have more candle light.
Okay.
We're going to cast Candle.
It is bright, than it was before. You have pulled your cheese out, Helene.
Yeah, she uses her block of cheese to just wipe out the splashes on her armor, I think
Okay.
if it was trying to eat through the armor or something, cheese usually neutralizes some sort of acid, I guess. Being 17 wisdom, I think she has, enough common sense to try to do something like that.
Yeah, that makes
Anyway,
sense.
and then afterwards, she's gonna try to melee if she's still able, or she could do
Okay,
that
I mean
towards
it's
the end.
paralyzed at this point. You guys you're able to just take it out. It was only at 1 hit point left. You realize, of course, again with your wisdom, you realize that it's acidic that it's not eating away the magical weapons immediately, but it's not going away either. So, but with the cheese, you're able to kind of clean off those as well, because I'm sure you don't want
Yeah.
you don't want to resheathe your weapon, your daggers, Revenant, or put
Are,
away your
are,
hammer with this ooze on it. Yeah,
are weapons no longer corroding, but it smells like cheese.
exactly. A small price to pay. Yeah, so the gross ooze creature is dead. And it kind of once you break the surface area on it, effectively killing it, it kind of like almost like a balloon pop, and it kind of like you can see it seeping into the ground, and within like a minute or so, the ground's like mostly dried. You kind of just like step over it, to move forward. Assuming that's what you want to do with your additional light now that you have.
Yes, and I'm gonna say I really hate oozes. They're always so problematic.
Yes.
You guys weren't with me when my friend Uhtred's sword got melted by an ooze. So,
That's right.
oh, and then someone else's sword got ruined. I mean, things happened. Oozes are just a pain.
Yeah, luckily now you have magic weapons, so
And I think
so
someone
you
was
were able to.
swallowed up by like a gelatinous something. I think Honest was killed that way. Somebody was. No, that wasn't how she died. Someone else died that way. Anyway, I don't like oozes. So Vanessa's ooze ran.
And Helene puts her hand again on Panesta's shoulder, and then pulls her closer and gives her a hug and says, there, honey. You've been through so many deaths, especially with these oozes."
Yes.
Yes, indeed. Okay, so yeah, so you're able to get around this thing a little bit. You step away. I don't know how long your spells last. The candle's like what? How long? Like an hour or something?
Yeah, an hour.
How about the other spell? The same thing.
It's still candle. I'm sorry. It was candle. I just misspoke.
Oh,
So yes,
I'm
an
sorry.
hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you have the candle going. Okay. So you continue to move down the passageway, and you can definitely tell, as you're kind of moving slowly, it stays pretty narrow, but you can tell that you're definitely going down. It's kind of down. It's slowly winding its way, and at a certain point, it does start to get a little bit wider and a little bit wider. And luckily, you have the candlelight, so you don't have to touch the walls anymore to hold on. You never encounter any traps, but over the course of the like 30-40 minutes that spells up, you don't encounter any traps. Eventually, you travel about an hour into the darkness, into the cavern as the candle's starting to burn out. It opens up into a large chamber. The ceilings here you just don't have the candle, go well beyond the 15-20 feet of the candlelight. It look off in the darkness. It opens up into a wide space, um, and you can't even see to the other side. It's like, but clearly when you step in, you can tell you're in a large space because it echoes. In here, it's like obsidian black. Like instead of that dirt you've been walking through, it's still black, but it's actually like shiny stone, as if it's been cut. And you're in a large chamber.
Okay. Large chamber.
Yeah, I mean, you would imagine that you could go obviously straight across. You could stick to one of the walls and kind of skirt around. You could use a larger light source, but right now with the candle flickering down, which you'll probably have to cast again if you want to keep it going, you're not going to be able to see very far into the space. But you do know that it's a large empty space, or somewhat empty. I don't know if it's empty or not.
Right. Yeah. I say we stick to the walls and not just strut out into the middle of a large chamber. If you want, now I'll light up a torch.
Yeah, it sounds like a good plan.
Okay. Helene, if you don't mind
Okay.
taking point, I can be kind of behind her and we'll kind of stick to the wall, if that's okay with everyone.
Sounds like a
Sounds
plan.
good to me.
Okay, right or left?
Oh, left.
Okay. All right. So you start heading along the wall, of this room, and your feet are kind of, you can actually, even though you're trying to, obviously be as quiet as possible as always, but you can definitely hear occasionally like the metal armor or your foot clank on the ground. It's definitely a large space. It's also kind of warm in here. You're realizing, at first you were thinking, well, we're in a closed space, real tight together, and there was combat, but now you're in a larger space where you think you'd start to cool off, and you can feel it's actually slightly warmer in here, which again probably seems strange because you're in an ice-covered mountain in the middle of the winter in Hyperborea, but it's not like the summer, but it's definitely getting warmer as you travel through this large space.
I want to cast a spell real quick while we're traveling.
Yep.
I'm gonna cast Dancing Lights, and I'm gonna send the lights ahead of us. I summon 1d4 plus 1 lights that I can control.
Nice. Okay.
Uh,
Go for it.
I summon 3 lights.
Oh, nice. So you're just going to send them straight along the wall like you're going, or you want to send them like out into the space?
I want to send them like where we're going. Like I want to light up the area ahead of us. And
Okay.
when we start reaching one light, I'll send it further ahead. It only lasts for 1 turn, but
Oh, okay.
that'll give us a little bit of like 10 minutes, right? Of
Yeah.
of extra light.
Okay. Yeah, nice. I like that. So yeah, so you guys you send that out so you can see a bit further ahead of you. It can actually tell now because you sent it out in front of you. So you can see kind of where you are, and you can also see where it's going. You can see that the room, kind of like above, is definitely curved. It's not as dramatic. It's much larger space than the outside sinkhole, but you can see there's definitely a curved wall. It's not like it was harder to tell when you were kind of just close to it, but you can see there is a nice curve to this wall going around a circle. And you travel for another 10 minutes or so, and the room is large, and you hear, because it doesn't surprise you, some movement out into the darkness. Like you're obviously against the wall looking forward. After the lights finally go back out and you just have the torch again, which you're probably lighting up a new torch at this point because you've been traveling for close to an hour. You hear off to what would be, because you went to the right, you said, right? So you went to your left out into the opening. You hear like something moving around out there. It sounds like something is being dragged, is probably the best way to describe it. It almost like a bag of rocks, because you can hear, like, it's definitely not a one large thing, like it's more like it's probably 40, 50 feet out in the darkness. It's beyond your torchlight, but not much beyond.
I was going to
Okay.
ask you, did it sound like claws?
Roll a d6.
Hold on, I was fixing a drink. D6.
Yes. No. It's hard to tell.
It sounds like anything you want it to.
Yeah, it's just hard to determine. You would imagine that if it was claws, it's a lot of them, so it's hard to really make out an individual sound. But it seems to be like out and just beyond your torchlight in the darkness. You got the 4 of you are kind of against this wall, looking out now. I guess you kind of.
Should we just keep going?
We can keep
should
going, or we can do an invisibility, or I can go into that wraith shape and make my way out into the center to see what it is. Or we can just ignore it. I need to decide whether it's important for us to know what that is or not.
Right.
Say we make a run for it.
Well, Ravna, I have a spell that would allow you to shoot flaming arrows.
Yeah,
You
I
could
was
shoot a
kind of
flaming
going
arrow at it.
the route of not letting it know we were here at first.
Well, you are standing in the light. It is in the darkness.
Oh,
And you begin to hear like people talking in various
Talking.
languages at different levels, and everybody can make a sorcery save.
uh-oh.
If you have a willpower adjustment, you may apply that to the saving throw.
Oh no.
As you hear this cacophonous babble.
Bro, I get a +4 on mine and I still failed.
Oh no.
Oh, yep. No, I passed. Well, waste of a nat 20.
Failed.
Well, maybe not.
Right, depending. You failed at Rowan Siege?
Oh, no.
No.
Okay.
I got a +3 and I still failed.
Oh no.
He's almost as
Helene
bad
made
as
it.
I am.
Boom, Aline. All right. So, those who failed are victim to a confusion spell. Let's see what happens here. We will the spell's victims.
Oh no.
I love this spell.
Okay.
This is when we attack our friends.
We are more allowed sorcerers. Okay. So, yeah, roll. Well, I'm not sure. Is it? Go ahead. I'll just start here. Crystal, roll a d10 to see what your character does.
Okay.
Upon hearing this babble.
Oh, well, at least it's random.
6.
Yeah, of course. 6. You just stand idle, drooling and confused.
That's
so,
okay.
so it's like a Tuesday.
Yeah, exactly. All right, and Reverend.
Oh, sorry. A D, what? 10?
D10, yep.
Yeah.
2. Stand idle, drooling and confused. Okay, so like a Tuesday. So you guys are both like, and Helene and Podesta, you realize that there's some kind of, strange creature, or creatures in the darkness that are babbling in your general direction.
Going back out again.
All right.
I grab Rowan Siege, thinking that she's probably lighter, and then point in the direction that we were traveling and start running.
Oh, okay. You're gonna try to move them. Oh, that's smart. Okay. How about Panesta?
Well, I don't know if I can grab Revna and carry her,
Oh, gee,
as
probably.
as I am not an Amazon woman.
No, but Revna's not a large woman either. You can just drag. You don't have to pick her up. You just grab her and probably take her by the hand and just drag her behind you.
Yeah, I imagine that's what Helene's doing as well.
I was picturing Helene like fireman carrying her.
Yeah,
Well,
I
maybe,
could see
don't
that
know. Are
too.
you actually
but
carrying her, Helen?
You and I are.
She's just gonna do her best to try to move as quickly as possible with Rowan
Yeah,
Siege.
if you want to pick her up, you can do it, but we'll have to look at the carrying capacity and such.
Yeah, she's
Panesta's
gonna
a
drag
wee.
her.
Panesta's a wee lass, but so is Revna's not very big either.
Okay,
Yeah,
I will take
you'll be-
Revna. Yeah, and go.
Yeah, you'll basically just be encumbered. We'll say.
Okay.
So you'll be minus 10 to your movement, minus 1 AC. All right, so you guys are just gonna try to make a run for it. Okay, roll initiative, Nikki, against the creature to see if you can move before it. Roll a 5.
Okay, I'll roll here. 4.
Ooh, okay. So you grab their hands to try to move. It takes a second to kind of get their them to respond or to let you grab their hand or whatever. So you're just a little slow on the move, and this thing is going to, let's see, we'll say, let's do on here. Odd will be Helene, even will be Nesta. So it's going to target. Okay, it's going to. Oh, can you see that when I did that? I rolled a 4.
I
Yeah.
thought, yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
all right. Yeah. I'm never sure if you can see it or not. Okay, that's Nesta. It spits at you. It's like, Patui. I think it has to hit you though. It's it's extremely bright green flash with blinds actually all victims within 30 feet, so it doesn't matter who it shot at. So everybody, the two of you, actually everybody needs to make a transformation saving throw, or you'll be blinded
Oh
for
no.
1d4 rounds.
Mm.
Well, shit.
Is it
Well,
willpower or anything? Nothing? Any adjustment?
transformation.
Transformation.
It's just a straight transformation save. Yeah.
Straight.
Oh no.
Okay.
Rowan
Oh,
Sage
no.
is just looking up at the ceiling at that moment.
Nope.
Oh God. Okay. So the two that aren't confused, right?
Are
Only
now
Rowan just
blind.
gets drooling. Right. So you guys are now blinded. You could try to run, but you're gonna be very slowed down, and there's gonna be a chance you're gonna fall. Or I'll just say you can maybe move like half your move, and then -10. So if you're gonna move, which I assume is your intent, this is something you want to do instead. So is your intent still to move, Nesta? You are blinded.
If I'm blinded, I don't want to just run blindly.
Helene's gonna yell out, "I'm blind, I can't see," and she's gonna say, "Panesta, save yourself, unfurl your the carpet and fly up," she says.
Up into a large cavern space where I don't know where I am. I can't see. She says, I like you a lot, Helene, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I think we should stop. And
Okay.
I'm going to I'm going to stop, and I'm going to I'm not going to keep running. Maybe prepare a spell. I can't see.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, so we'll just count that round as a bunch of stuff happened. Go ahead, our two confused victims, although I know you are not blind at this moment, Rowan Siege, but so you might be able to actually do something depending on what the result is here. So Rowan Siege, roll me 10. 9. Oh, fantastic. Physically attack closest creature.
Oh,
I think
nice.
that's Helene.
Okay.
Okay. And go ahead, Rush, for Revna, roll a d10. You're blinded, so you might not be able to do a whole heck of a lot, but let's see what you do. And of course, I'm not going to keep battling. This is battling going on. You're still drooling.
Sweet.
Okay. So, no, I guess no, you're going to cast a spell, right? So, Nikki, roll initiative again for your side. What's Helene's plan? You're blinded currently.
5 for initiative.
Okay. What's Helene doing?
Spell.
Okay. Yeah, so it rolled a 3, so you guys gonna go first. Your vision's starting to come back. It's only for the one round, so it's basically the round that which is there. So just as you're kind of shaking it off to try to cast your spell, Podesta, your vision comes back. So what is the spell?
My vision comes back.
Yeah,
Well,
and
I
you
was
can
gonna-
actually see because your vision came back because it moved 10 feet closer to you. So now it's within the range of your torch. You see in front of you kind of this amorphous blob kind of skirting the ground. You hear scratching on the ground as there are dozens upon dozens of mouths that are talking, and tongues are lolling, and teeth are dragging on the ground, and eyeballs are looking wildly in different directions. No place is there a single face, but all you see is effectively madness, and it's talking to itself in many different languages. So, what spell are you casting?
I was going to make myself invisible to try to
Okay.
stay out of its thing, but it seems like it's gonna. I'll just do myself invisible, and then we can decide what I want to do next. Invisible.
Okay. You go out invisible. How about
Yep.
Helene? Your vision is also coming back.
She's gonna cast command on Rowan Siege. Awaken.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Road Siege. Make a sorcery saving throw.
Okay. Do I get willpower to that? Because it would actually matter here.
Yeah. Command. Do you get sort of
So effectively, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to counter that confusion by trying to awake
Oh.
her from that stupor. So if she
Yep.
failed, that's a good thing.
Right.
We
No,
don't.
it is. You get willpower adjustment for your wisdom.
So I got a +1. So I actually succeeded.
Ah, darn
Oh.
it.
Oh no. Okay. You unfortunately are not. This is when you'd want to fail a saving throw.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, it does not affect you in this moment, and you instead attack Helene.
Rowan Seat says, "I will not
Physically.
be, I will not be swayed by your guile, witch," and she will stab at her with her dagger.
Yeah.
Luckily, it's not the opposite happen. Oh my god!
Oh my
That
god!
was too soon.
The one time that, at
At least
least
it's
I
gonna harm
rolled
damage.
really low damage.
Yeah.
And Helene, she laughs. She's like, oh.
Okay. So it's still 30 feet away, so it can't actually attack yet. Can it do that? Yeah, it can do it every round. Can't do anything else. Okay, so it's going to actually try to spit again. So everybody needs to make the transformation save to see if they're blinded as it spits again. It's like nobody's blinded anymore, so everybody can make the save again.
Made it that time.
Blinded again.
Oof. Okay. How about Ron Siege?
I'm blinded, yeah.
Okay. Revna, make a transformation save. It's going to move forward now. It's 20 feet away.
Hey!
Made it? Ah, okay. So you're not
everything.
blinded, but you're still drooling.
When do I
Okay.
get to save against that again?
Never.
Huh.
Until it's over. Yep.
Rowan Seat shouts out, "Pinesta, the witch has blinded me."
Okay,
Oh,
so as we
boy.
come into this round, we got two confused people. Rowan Siege is confused, so roll a d10.
Okay.
6. Oh, you're drooling again. Revna, you are also confused, so roll a d10. You're just enjoying the day. You got completely oblivious to all that's going on.
Oh, I don't know what to do. Okay.
I continue to drool.
Oh man, okay. Yep, your drooling continues. Pranesta is not blinded, and Helene is. What is it that you guys would like to do? What's your plan, Helene?
Helene fumbles through her belongings, try to take out that robe of scintillating colors.
Okay. Well, she wears it. You got it on.
Okay.
Yeah, it
All
should
right.
say what it does in the. Do you see it there?
Yeah, it says transfix 1 time per day.
Right. I think it has. I think the full write-up of it is somewhere in the character sheet. I just don't know where I put it. I think I put it in the notes. You might not be able to see it because it might be in the GM notes. So give me a second. I'll tell you what it does. What's Pranesta's plan?
We're in this big cavern, right?
That's correct. Right now you're against a wall. You haven't actually moved because of all that's gone on.
All that's gone on, and I'm invisible right now.
Yes, you are.
I'm just gonna. I think I might just take Revna's hand invisibly, and just try to keep moving away from this thing.
Okay. Cool.
And I'm
All right.
going
So
to.
Go ahead.
No, sorry.
Tell me what you're gonna say.
I was gonna try to take out like a piece of cloth, maybe like rip a piece of cloth of my clothing and like wrap it around Revna's eyes so that hopefully she won't get blinded again.
Okay.
Or she won't get blinded. Yeah. Well, she.
Yep. Okay. Perfect. So you're gonna use the robe.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Perfect. So basically, the creature's gonna have to make a saving throw. All right. So let's just roll initiative. Go ahead, Nikki.
Okay.
You got a 3.
We got a 6.
Oh, excellent. Okay. So you pull out some extra cloth or whatever you have, maybe something wrapped around that cheese. You wrap it around Revenue's eyes as you start to drag her away, moving. What's your movement?
My movement is 40.
Okay, so you can move her about 30 feet. So you start to move her away. Of course, you got the torch, which I'm assuming you're holding on to. So the light is moving 30 feet as well. But
Right.
at the same time, Helene activates her robe. Okay, so it has to make a device saving throw. The creature does.
Yep.
Okay, and otherwise it'll be transfixed, completely, effectively stunned.
I guess it flows from the robe after 1 round delay.
Okay,
Is
so
it?
it won't be this round. Okay, so
Yeah.
you activated this round, so it's going to
Mhm.
get to go again. It moves another 10 feet closer, so it actually can't. That's all it's going to do because it's trying to move up to attack you guys. Nobody's been moving so far, so it's not. Well, now it sees Revenant moving, but nobody's actually moved, so it's not going to bother trying to flash you again. It doesn't know if you're blind or not, so it's not smart enough to know that. So it just moved forward 10 more feet. So now it's 10 feet away. So next round it's going to be actually able to make contact. I'll say it's just out of melee range.
Okay.
So it moves closer, and now we have another confusion check. Roll and siege. Roll d10.
Okay. 4.
Okay, I think that's another drool. Yep, drooling again. Ravna, roll me a d10 as you're being dragged away.
Ah, crap. Stop doing that. 5.
Also drooling. Okay, so you're just being dragged. I'll say it's fine. You're slowing her down, but you're being dragged away. So into the and your eyes are wrapped in cloth, but I guess you don't care because you're completely confused. Panessa, what's your plan?
My plan is to keep. You think it'll? You said it'll be in melee range.
Yeah, it's gonna be able to attack Helene and Rowan Siege this round. If you look back, you can see it's Of course, it's at the edge of your light now because you're leaving them in the darkness.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. I will stop. I think I might do another spell. It'll drop my invisibility, but that's okay.
Okay, so you're gonna cast spell. What about Helene? You're doing the robe, right?
Yeah, she has to concentrate. So
Okay, yeah. So you're concentrating on the robe. Vanessa's gonna do a spell. So let's roll initiative. Go ahead, Nikki.
Okay.
Creature got 2.
We got 5.
Okay, going first. So go ahead, cast your spell.
Okay, I'm gonna light this thing up with fairy fire so that they can see it.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And that it's purple fairy fire, and that also gives it -1 to its AC.
Okay, does it get a save or no?
It does not say it gets a save.
Okay.
It
It's
says
lit
I
up.
can do it to 2 small creatures per caster level for larger creatures. I don't know how big it is, but I'm at 8th level
It's
caster
medium.
level, so so I'm fine. Okay. Sure. Okay.
Okay, so it's lit up with purple light. So now it's a bunch of mouths drooling and talking and gibbering and teeth dragging on the ground. That's lit with purple light. The robe, speaking of light, the robe of scintillating colors is like the colors are going out at this creature. It needs to make a device saving throw, which it will do now. I don't know what saving throw is. I'll just roll d20. We'll figure it out. Boop. Ooh, that's a good save. It makes it. It's saving throw is 15. Now the question is, does Nesta have to make one too because she's there?
no, it says it's only hostile
And
creatures.
hostiles. Okay. All right. So it unfortunately it doesn't seem to be transfixed, and you know this because it moves forward, attacking Rowan Siege, who's just standing there idly by, drooling. You're effectively stunned, I guess. So it's going to get a bonus to its attack, Rowan Siege. It attacks with 1d4 plus 4 mouths. So it's going to try to take a whole bunch of little tiny bites out of you.
Sounds
6
fun.
mouths. Okay. All right, I'll roll. I can only roll 5. Well, actually, that's right. I'm going to roll 5d20. As it tries to chomp into you. Ooh. All these little mouths start clamping at your legs and stuff as you stand there. You're not immune to being bit by tiny little mouths, right?
Not as far as I know. My armor class
It's
is
a-
2, so I don't
It's
know.
a very specific immunity.
I was gonna say that is
Yeah.
very specific.
Okay, it's 4 hit dice, so it needs a.
I got
Okay.
a quick thing to let you know. Opponents who make their saving throw suffers -4 attack penalties against the wearer, as long as the color persists. It
Okay.
says.
Well, they're not attacking you; they're attacking.
Okay. I got
Yeah,
you.
that would be super good if not. But I think a 15 might hit you. 15 hits armor class 1.
Okay, that'll be enough to hit me
Okay.
then.
Yeah, I don't think the 12 hits you. What's your armor class again?
2.
Nope, does not. Okay, so the 3 15s and of course the 20. So the
And I
20
get
is critical.
I get a damage reduction of 2 for each hit.
Oh, nice. Okay, so hold on 1 second. Let me just do the crit first. I'm gonna roll a d6 to see what kind of crit it is. Ooh, a monster crit with a 5 is double damage, so I'll roll that one first. Each bite does. Oh, okay. You take no damage.
Oh, nice.
Each bite is 1 point of damage.
So
So
I am immune to tiny mouths.
you are immune to tiny mouth bites.
Who knew?
However, if 3 or more bite a single victim, you must make an avoidance saving throw or be sucked down into it and be bitten by more mouths, which I'm going to actually, which you won't take immediate damage, but there's also there's other problems with being bit by more mouths. So
Okay.
currently you're bit by 5 mouths. That's important to know.
And I need to make
So,
what kind of saving throw?
Avoidance saving throw to not be sucked into this massive mouth as it's chomping and biting at you.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Okay,
Nope.
now. So
I
you
am
get
sucked into it.
Yeah, so you fall into this thing, and like these mouths didn't just bite you; they like clamped onto you, and they're like just squeezing with their teeth, and they're like trying to bust through your whatever is stopping people from hurting you. This is terrible, but yet funny.
Best sound effect ever.
All right,
Meanwhile, I'm just like floating through clouds as if I'm on
10
acid.
10 more mouths bite you.
Oh no.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes, this is not a good place to be. Oh, but these mouths are not as effective. I think it looks like only you said. Oh, sorry. I know you told me your arm class 3 times already, but what is it?
2.
2. Okay, so let me just see what it needs to hit you instead of looking at the numbers. It needs a 14. Okay, it needs a 14, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4 more mouths. So currently there are 9 mouths that are like biting on you. Okay. God, okay. Because after this, it starts doing like a per round draining damage, and that you're not going to be able to. Well, hold on. Why are you taking damage reduction? Because the ring of protection.
Because of my ring of protection. Yes.
Yeah, it's not a hit, so I'm going to say the ongoing damage will work. So you are going to take ongoing damage from this, without the reduction, because it's not an individual hit. So
Okay.
it's not immediate, but you know that these things are everybody can see you're basically being consumed by a whole lot of mouths.
Oh God.
But I'm laughing and like, ha, that tickles.
Oh dear Lord.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Oh my God. Yeah. So, what was your spell?
Who?
Oh, you already cast it.
Yeah, I did Fairy Fire.
That's right. Okay. So, so Rowan Siege is engulfed by hundreds of mouths that are purple, glowing purple mouths. That's even better. You really do think you're stoned. Speaking of that, let's have our confused people roll.
Glowing purple
Rowan
mouths.
Siege, roll for the purple mouth attack. Roll a d10 to see if you are still confused.
Okay.
You almost want to be confused at this point.
Yeah. 9.
9. Physically attack closest creature, which would be the creature. So you'll have to make a physical attack against it.
Okay.
When it comes to your turn. And unfortunately, Revna is still drooling. Revna's not getting to do a whole lot. Okay, so that is that round. What is the plan for Helene and Panesta?
Go ahead, Helene. I'm trying to look something up real quick.
Yeah, Helene really needs to save Rowan Siege, so she's gonna attack. with her hammer.
Okay.
Okay, I have a question.
Yep.
I don't know if this will work. Is this thing susceptible to the rod of rulership?
Is it?
I can't. I'm trying to find it in the book. 'Cause I haven't used it yet. I didn't have it ready.
Indeed, you haven't.
So let me just try to find it in the magical. It's in the
Oh, I
magical
see.
stuff.
Oh.
Right? Yeah, here
You
we go.
got your little book out to try to look it up.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, let me look at my little book of magic items. See
Rod
what things.
of rulership. Yeah, let me see as this is happening. Okay,
There's one good way to find out.
right. And I do have 1d. I have quite a few charges on this. I have 301 charges. 1d4 plus 1 times 100. So let's see. Okay, it says wielded by any character class, hold to high overhead, shouts obey. Oh no, I'm sorry, 1d4 times 100 hit dice of creatures, not charges. Oh no, 300 charges, one charge per turn. Yep, okay, cool. Will succumb to his rulership. Creatures with 15 plus intelligence and or 9 plus HD are allowed device saving throws to resist, modified by willpower. That's all. That's what it says for the Rod of Rulership. Just that they have to be within 120 feet, and they get a save if he's over 9 hit die or has a 15 plus intelligence.
Okay.
So
Is that what you want to do?
yes, I think so, because I could get my sword out and run at it, but then I'm not a big fan of being bitten by the millions of tiny little mouths. So I'm going to hold aloft. I'm gonna let go of Helene or Revna's hand. Say, just stay there, dear. She's drooling, and I will hold aloft my Rod of Rulership and shout, "Obey!" when it's my turn. That's my plan.
Okay. It affects everybody. You realize that, even your allies. Everybody
Well,
within range.
I'm actually
Yeah.
all right with that. I'm okay with
Okay.
that.
Roll initiative. They got a 4.
Okay, we got a. Where's the D? Oh, there we go. Oh, 2.
Okay, it's going to go first. So it's just going to try to continue to consume. Sorry, Crystal. And you're effectively helpless, so it's just going to automatically hit you. So the question is, how many more mouths are going to bite you? Which won't do damage this round, but will later. So it's another D6 plus 6. Okay. So another 9 mouths. Well, they might not all hit though. So let me roll. I mean, none of this might matter in a second, depending on if the roll to rulership works. Was it 14 to hit you, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 more mouths. Okay. So you get bit by 4 more mouths. You're going to take 9 points of damage from the continuous, the ongoing damage.
Don't we need to roll over 14 to hit?
Yeah, 14. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, 3 more. Or no, 4 more. 2 more. 3 more.
Yeah, 3 more. 3 more. Yeah.
3, not 4. Okay, so 12. Okay, so you'll take 9 points of damage. Thanks for running.
Yep.
You'll take 9 points of damage, Rowan Siege, from the creature biting you. -2. I'll say that it'll count as 1 attack. That seems like a more fair way to do it. Okay, so 7 points. And that's all it does. So now it's back to you guys. Melee happens first, which would be Rowan Siege attacking the thing that's grabbing it.
And
Grabbing
Helene
her
also.
around.
Yeah.
And Helene
hits
also.
it.
So go ahead, Rowan Siege. Make a melee attack against the creature.
Oh.
That does not hit. It would have been max damage though. Yeah, you try to stab wildly, but there's 12 mouths biting onto you. Helene, make an attack.
Says spit out Rowan Siege. And she hits.
That definitely hits. Okay.
Yeah. 8
Okay,
points of
yeah.
damage.
You whack this thing, and some of the teeth slide across the room. It's still pretty strong. I mean, it's a big, large. It's not large, but it's large. It's large for a big puddle of mouths. Let's just say that. Rev is drooling.
She also shouts, "Keep Rowan Siege out of your damn mouth!"
Oh my gosh.
Years from now, nobody will know what you're talking about.
Yep. It's okay.
Okay, so Finesta grabs out of her tiny little backpack that for some reason has so much in it.
Hey, man, I'm a boss.
Pulls forward the rod of. She's like she has like a roll. She unrolls her like
Yes,
a
it's
scroll
like a
of different rods that she has.
It's like
This
a
one
chef's
looks pretty
knife.
good.
It's like a chef's roll of all their knives.
Exactly, and she's like, yeah. I mean, it's not 9 hit dice, and I don't see why it wouldn't work. So you yell obey, and it does, I guess. It basically says that succumb to the rulership. There you go. Will obey the wielder as though they were unquestioned overlord, and be the loyal vassals. Their command will be obeyed without question. So everybody, because none of you guys are more than 9 hit dice, but if anybody has a 15 or more intelligence, you'll get a saving throw.
Yeah.
That includes the
do.
PCs. Yep, you can make a save.
Device safe.
You can device save with a willpower adjustment.
Okay, so that'll give me a +3.
Mhm.
I still failed.
Nope. Yeah, so you are all under the effect of, you look at Panesta as if she's your unquestioned overlord.
Right after smacking that creature, Helene all of a sudden turns around and kneels and bows her head and says, "Milady, my overlord."
Like 2 years of adventuring. On the last adventure, I finally got my way.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, right now the creature's doing what the creature does because it's biting. So it's you're in control of it. But if it goes first, it's going to attack before you can control it. So
Okay.
although it doesn't take much to talk, I suppose. So I'll say that so you can say something before
Okay.
before it gets to
I'm
it.
going to say that's toxic. Spit her out.
Wow. Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm just
Gee, thanks, Panesta.
no. I'm just trying to be, I'm benevolent.
Oh, I see. Yeah. So right, you feel the teeth that are digging into you loosen up, and the slimy creature kind of underneath you, and you're no longer being held by the mouths. However, roll a d10 to see how you're reacting because of the confusion.
Oh God.
Because the creature is still babbling.
4.
4, so you're drooling. How about Revna?
D10, right?
Yep.
Oh, a
Oh
10.
no.
Hey! You physically attack this, so you charge at the the mouther and attack it.
Nice.
So yeah. Well, first roll initiative, because I mean, it probably doesn't actually matter, but
Can I tell it to? Can I tell Revna to stop if we?
yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Well, why don't you just roll initiative against Revna? Because that's probably
Okay.
all that really matters. Yeah.
So we're not going to keep trying to kill this thing?
Because I'm going to no, I'm going to tell it. I want to tell it to do something, and I want to tell you guys to do. You guys to just kind of keep going. Because as long as I hold this rod in 2 hands, I can keep doing it. But it is going to cost me a charge per round. So don't realize that, Daniel. I am marking it off. Okay.
Dang.
Just to preempt that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got a 5 for initiative.
Okay, roll Revna to see if she beats you.
D6, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
She does.
Okay, so what is it that you want to command?
I just want to tell her, stop, don't move. Or
Okay.
just stop.
What about the creature?
I'm going to tell the creature, I'm going to say, I don't know how much it can understand me, but it does do confusion, so it probably has a pretty good grasp. I'm going to say, down that way, and I'll point towards where we came from, out of the passageway, is a great piece of bacon. You go that way and eat that. So I'm going to say, I'm going to send it after the pig.
No.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's no longer holding on to you, Road Siege, although you are currently drooling. So you're probably sitting on top of it still.
Oh God!
As it starts to move away, it's super slow though. It only moves 10, so it just starts to slide. Road Siege.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Road Siege is like laying on top. Like.
I'll tell Helene to grab Rowan Seach and let's go. While it's moving away from us.
Yeah, she was like in a kneeling position going, "What is thy bidding, my mistress?" And she gets up, runs over to Rowan Siege, grabs her legs, and pull her out of there.
Yeah, let's
Okay,
take
yeah,
like
you're
a
able to
big.
do it.
Yeah, let's go. And I will mark off another charge.
Yeah, it's moving, slowly away, and it's like.
Yeah, go confuse the pig.
Okay, you're still within range. We can hear it. So
Okay.
roll another d10 there, Ron Siege.
Okay. Boop. 5.
All right, drooling again
drooling.
as Lane drags you,
Okay,
and
that's fine.
finally Revna. You turn to charge at the thing again.
Okay, I'll use another charge. I'll still hold on to it and say stop again if I can. If I can do it.
I am a
Dude, so
Viking
Revenant-
after all.
Yeah. Yeah, you could command Revna not to go, but she's
Yeah.
very confused.
And convicted, apparently.
And hopefully that thing will move far enough away as we move kind of away from it.
Oh, actually, you know what? You're supposed to get another save. I think we did this last time too. We screwed it up. So actually, make another. It doesn't matter. It's moved away now. It's more fun when you guys are confused. So yeah, it moves. It starts to move away. You can hear it babbling, but it's not strong enough to affect. And road seat, you feel yourself being dragged by your feet across the ground by Helene in the darkness. Well, the very little light. And Revna, your anger is over, and you are looking at Penesta, who's holding aloft a magical rod in the
Yes.
with the head of a saber-toothed tiger.
I'm just like blink, 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 blink.
I will put my
All right, come on.
I'll hold on to it for one more
Yeah.
round so that the thing doesn't turn around and come back.
Come on, go.
Well, right, it's you can see that it's moving. I mean, just because we don't have a map, or whatever to show you, it doesn't move that fast. It's only moving 10, so it's been 3 rounds, so it's only 30 feet away from you right now.
Go.
Yeah, I'll keep it.
So
I'm just gonna burn another couple charges for it to get us to move away from it and it to move away from us. If you know what I mean.
you want to move far enough away that it's not going to be able to you can't hear it anymore.
Yeah, I think
Like,
that's a good idea.
At all? Okay. All
well,
right.
we need to get. Yeah, I think we should keep moving in the opposite direction from where I sent it. Is what I'm saying.
Okay, so roll a d6 then.
Okay, D6. 2.
Okay, it only takes about between you moving and it moving. It only takes about another 2 charges worth to before you can't hear it at all. It's like it's too far away you can even hear it. Either it went into that tunnel or the space is just too big or whatever. But
okay,
yeah, it's gone.
I will re-roll it back up in my kit O'Tools. So
I imagine you have all these things rolled in the magic carpet. So every time you unroll the magic carpet, it's like, hold on.
Gotta grab my stuff. Yep. And I'll
It's
say,
like
boy,
one of those guys, that you see in the subway in Manhattan. They open up their trench coat and you see like 500 watches hanging off of it.
what are you buying? All right, I'll and I'll go to Rowan Seach and say, how once we're far enough away, are you hurt very badly?
She's still confused, or
Nope.
okay. She'll say, a little bit, but I think I'll live.
Well, that's one way to put it. And she casts. I mean, how much are you down roughly about? I mean, how bad does she look? I don't want to meta.
On a scale from 1 to 20, I'm about 13.
Okay. Well, that makes it pretty clear. Yeah. She's gonna cast Cure Moderate Wounds.
Okay.
And that's gonna burn 2d8. Let me roll that. 2d8. 11 points.
Oh, nice.
That'll bring me back up. Thank you, Helene.
Cool.
Yes.
Okay, so let's take a break, and then we'll come out and hopefully encounter Ali. You're getting there.
Oh yeah, that's what we were doing. I don't even
exactly.
know.
Why are we even here? You went the long way. Let me just say that.
Oh God.
All
Sorry,
right,
that's probably my fault.
No, it's fine. No, it's fine. You could have. There's many ways to skin a boar, as it would be. Okay, so having defeated the lots of little mouth creature, and moved, for another 20 minutes or so in the darkness across this very large space without encountering anything else. You come to what is a twin, effectively, to the entrance that you came in. It's relatively narrow, maybe like 6-7 feet wide. It's got about an 8 to 9 foot ceiling, and it's just as you shine your torch down there, you can see it's similar to what you went through, except you can see just even by looking at, there's a slight incline going up.
Is anyone else hurt?
I am not. No.
Not I.
Helene is going to heal herself with 1 cure light wound.
Okay. You cast the magic upon yourself and feel the power. You don't hear any more gibbering, as it would be. It's actually
That's
fairly
good.
quiet in here.
Your eyes
But it still
open.
has.
Oh.
Sorry. There's still an oppressive darkness and a tunnel heading out.
Gains 5 points. So
Nice.
she's back up to 40 hit points.
Runsage will say, keep your eyes open for more of those oozes lurking around in this area.
Definitely.
Okay.
We-
So you're going. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I just want to say, are you going back up the tunnel? I just wanted to say, let me know what order. Are you going back to the same order, like, because it's skinny again? If you are going up there.
Yeah, I would say Helene first, and then the rest of us behind. Then I would go, and then
Yeah, the
Okay.
healer
Sounds good.
goes first.
Healer / tank / DPS or whatever.
DPS.
NPC.
Yep.
I have no idea what anything means. So yeah, you she's the Marys. That's the DMPC. So you head up to the tunnel with your torch, obviously Helene in lead. And yeah, unlike the other one, which was you could tell it was going down because it was very subtle, this one's actually fairly steep. And there's points where like you can actually feel, like it's not like difficult like you're gonna fall, but it's definitely like you're going uphill pretty rapidly. And then in between you get the rhythm of your footsteps, and you're in this kind of oppressive dark space, and then you start to hear, so you stop or slow down. You hear what seems to be music. At first, you think it's maybe possibly some kind of strange birds or something, but then as you listen, you actually think that it's whistling, like that a human might do, and the whistling is kind of multiple voices, so definitely more than one figure whistling. And as you're kind of cautiously approaching, you hear then voices join in song, and it sounds kind of like Helene would recognize that the rhythms of it, that they sound like they could be prayers, but they're in a very, very ancient, archaic language. There. You might actually speak it. You guys speak a lot of languages, so let me just quickly check my languages here. Languages. Language charts. Languages, here we go. Oh, check something.
She speaks Common and Hellenic, Amazon Hellenic.
Okay.
I speak Celtic, Hellenic, and Thracian.
Okay. Okay. Well, it's a Hellenic dialect. It's. I mean, you've been around enough. You think that it's got a bit of. Does anyone speak Khromarium?
Nope.
Okay.
Marion?
Yeah. Or-
No, I don't.
I do.
Nope.
Well, wait, no, I'm sorry. I speak Thracian in a Khromarian accent.
Okay. No, that's cool. But Thracian is okay. So Thracian is with the Khromarian dialect. Well, that's actually perfect. You speak Hellenic. What's
And
the
I
Hellenic
speak
one?
Hellenic with a Khromarian accent as well.
Oh, you do? Okay. So yeah, that you basically you understand it as being a very archaic form of Hellenic Khromarium kind of mix. Like it's got that kind of vibe going on.
Oh,
Um, yeah.
I'm actually Kimmerkelt as my race.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So you recognize words. It seems to be a prayer. They seem to be speaking of. You recognize a word that seems to be like a prophecy. The time of change. Like you pick it up pieces of it. And again, it's almost like monks, like how monks sing, like oh, monks singing.
Hmm.
God, remember when that was popular? Though you're all too young.
Hmm.
There was like a moment where like one of the monk things, like a bunch of monks became they like added what would be like hip hop beats to it. Do you remember this? Am I
Yep, the
Oh, I
okay?
Benedictine
remember.
monks.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that.
the
It's
Benedictine monks
that.
of Santo Domingo or something like that.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
it.
it was.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember those guys singing Nirvana's, like Nevermind or something.
That's exactly what it is.
Hmm. Uh,
No. Anyway, so yes, you hear what seems to be some kind of prayers, like a song, and there's a kind of like a weird like almost like whistling that goes with it, like the kind of like whatever they're whistling, and then also like prayers.
By the way, I meant It Smells Like Teen Spirit. Nevermind
Yeah,
was
yeah.
the album. Right.
Yes. Right. Right. We want to make sure we get our pop culture references.
Yes.
Right.
That's right. I'm gonna be like, Nevermind, it's not a song. I don't want that.
Right.
yes, all the
Um,
kids out there these days who know never mind.
so the gibbering you were just talking about, that's what you said we hear that?
This is not gibbering so much as singing. It seems
Okay.
monkish
So it doesn't
in a
sound
Khromarian, in a kind of archaic Khromarian accent
no.
with Hellenic kind of overtones.
Okay.
And then whistling.
So it doesn't sound like the thing from
Oh,
before.
no, it does not sound like that.
Okay, gotcha.
The thing was actually speaking, as you're kind of thinking about it, not in the middle of a combat with it, it did seem like it was speaking many languages at once. It was like if you got 50 people in a room that all spoke different languages and they were all trying to talk to each other very loudly.
Right.
That's what the creature sounded like.
Okay. Well,
And can we all understand it, or is it only Rowan Sage who can understand?
Only
Apparently.
if you have Hellenic and Khromarian in some kind of.
no, I don't. So I'm just looking at you like, what's going on?
Yeah, I would like lowly translate what I could. And I guess with Hellenic, Helene can understand a little bit of it as well.
Yeah, you're definitely picking up words, prophecy, time, chosen, stuff like that.
Hmm.
Load up thy bows, bring thy friends. Yeah.
Right. That's literally exactly what it is.
Oh, brother.
Well, shall we crash their party?
They
Do it.
don't seem too hostile. They're just chanting after all.
I crack my knuckles and get ready to cast spells.
Helene turns to Penesta and says, "What is thy bidding, my mistress?" Once more.
And you're like,
Oh
whoa,
boy.
no.
Yeah, no, I put
Perfect.
I put that away. Yeah, we're good. No, well, this is something about chosen or whatever is what we heard, right?
Chosen, time, prophecy, words like
Yep.
that mixed in. It's hard to put together full sentences.
Well, they said Ali is falsely part of it, so maybe he's up there.
Let's hope so.
I'm going to start to kind of go that way.
Okay, so you're in the darkness do you? But obviously you're using a torch, so you're kind of moving up, and you approach a certain point because remember you've been going up, and you kind of round a corner slightly, and you're almost like set back by how bright it is. There seems to be a steady bright light coming from around the corner, kind of a reddish blue, like strong, almost like the light of the sun, but on a very strong bright day. You probably have to like either step back or close your eyes because it's almost like you've been in the dark and you step out in the bright sun, you're like, whoa, even with the torchlight.
Okay. I would step back. Unfortunately, I don't have anything that would be the equivalent of sunglasses in my little kit. So I look at the others and I'm like, well, what do you think?
Let's go. We're not going to accomplish anything standing here.
Okay. Oh, well, everybody just squint, I guess. Or keep your eyes down.
You don't know
Wish I had
Tulak? What was it? Tulak?
Eskimo goggles.
Yeah, we don't have his goggles. We actually we returned them, or somebody did.
Yeah.
To his
Okay. Yeah. So you kind of come around the corner knowing that it's bright. You kind of squinting and looking at the ground like you would do if you're out in the bright sun.
Yep.
And you kind of stumble forward a few steps, like kind of moving as your eyes start to adjust. And you realize that there's like 50, 60 feet in front of you, like a cave, what it is effectively looks like a cave entrance. It looks like it's looking out into basically the sky from where you are 50, 60 feet back. It's like the light at the end of the tunnel, if you will. It's bright and you don't see anything there but like light coming through. But it kind of looks like the sky out there as your eyes start to adjust to it. And the sound seems to be coming from below that.
Okay.
So you move forward, as your eyes are adjusting, and you kind of look out and creep out, and you look, and you can see that you're about 20 foot up, standing at the mouth of a cave. Right below you is kind of a cut up patch of land with a circle of 13 men. They are sitting cross-legged. You can imagine how that is, as each of them have 3 legs. Each has 5 arms, and each has 4 eyes on their face. They are sitting in a circle. They are singing. They're quite tall, you would imagine, but they're sitting down. They're sitting cross-legged. However that works. And there's a path leading off from where they are through a forest, and you're kind of up high a little bit. You can see it looks like you're on kind of a bit of a hill, and it goes down into what looks like some kind of a city. The ground here is this strange. The stones are the strange bright green, and the foliage is that strange kind of reddish brown color that was described to you by
Helene.
Helene. No, did Helene see it?
Helene cast that divination spell. Or
that's right. But Rowan Siege saw this.
Oh yeah,
Basically, this looks very similar to what you saw, Rowan Siege, including the people. They don't look like. Well, you can't tell. You can tell if they're the same people or not, but they look the same type of people because you didn't get a good clean look at them before.
Mm-hmm.
But they're singing. They have their like 5th arm like in the middle, and they're like holding what look to be some kind of maybe possibly holy symbols. They look like carved stones, and they're kind of just holding them out, and they're chanting Nirvana.
Mm-hmm. You want I should fireball them?
No, not yet.
You want?
You want I should fireball them?
You want that I should cast my fireball on them?
Holding holy stones. Do we see Ali anywhere?
You do not see Ali.
I look up. Is Ali up?
He's falling. Ali falls from the sky and lands. That would be amazing. But if I had thought of that, I would have used it, but I won't. Next time, that's what's happening. No, you look up and you see the sky. It looks like it's the summer. The sun is as bright as it gets in Hyperborea. The sky is bright. You can see for miles. You look up and you can see that you're in the face of what is a mountain, and you see it's all the black obsidian stone, just like you have seen Mount Fort before, except it doesn't look like this where you are.
Helen looks at Panesta and she says, "We're not in Hyperborea anymore, are we?"
Not unless we've gone through some sort of weird time shift and all of a sudden it's summer again. But now we know what the pig was eating. These are humanoid creatures. Perhaps. I don't see Ali. I don't want to fireball them.
Hey, bird. Kasim, do you sense your master nearby?
That's my burden. Yeah, so Kasim says city. No, that's a parrot. Doesn't do that. No.
A city.
City.
Well, this doesn't appear to be a city.
Yeah. Well, you see that there's a city further. I mean, a town.
City further down. Yeah, town.
Yeah, I mean, you see a settlement. I don't know. Yeah. Ravens, city, town, village.
Right,
hamlet.
exactly.
I don't think they really,
All right. Well, I wonder if these guys are so. I look at the other guys and like the other party members, and I say, I wonder if these guys are so involved in their little thing that they wouldn't notice.
They seem quite religious. Perhaps we should just speak to them first.
I'm always up for that. And then we throw fireballs if we have to.
Yeah, and after suggesting that, Helene takes a step back.
Oh.
For Panesta to speak.
Yeah, I see.
Well, you are 20 feet above the ground.
That's right.
And in a cave front. Yeah.
Well, I'm not just gonna yell "Hey" down at them. Do I see how to get down? I don't remember. I don't.
You could scale down, but it would probably not be the most stealthy thing in the world.
Okay.
There's definitely rocks and stuff. It's not like it's hard. It would be hard. It would just be. I mean, it wouldn't be. You wouldn't be able to do it out of view of where they are. I mean, they are like opening and closing their eyes. I mean, they mostly have their eyes closed, but they don't keep them closed the whole time. Being that they have 4.
Right. They have 4 eyes. That's right.
Yeah, and they have 2, as humans would normally have them, and then there's one on the top of their head, and then one is kind of here.
Okay. Yep.
But they're all facing forward for the most part. Well, this one's kind of up a bit.
Could we make some sort of a religion check and find out who they're trying to, who they're praying to?
I mean, you wouldn't know. I mean, you can get a general idea. This is definitely something that's otherworldly. You know that. You don't need to roll for that. Like, this is definitely nothing that you would know. Like, you're sure you don't know, if that makes sense. And that in and of itself is information. It's not like it's just something I don't know. It's like, this is definitely not something that we follow on Hyperborea. So, yeah. You have no idea. I mean, in by that meaning, yeah, this is completely alien to you.
All right.
But they don't seem to be praying to a god. They seem to be almost yeah, I guess because Panesta's here with the bard, you can kind of place together between the religion and the thing that it's almost as if they're reciting a prophecy in hopes that it will come true, if that makes sense. Like, they're telling the story.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Less so like, oh Lord, bring the prophecy. It's more like, this is what should be happening at this point, if that makes sense.
Maybe we're part of their prophecy, I whisper. And like, if we just get to, yell at them, they'll be like, oh, our prophecy's been fulfilled. I don't know.
Maybe part of their prophecy is to get a fireball to the face. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing that out there.
I don't think so. But maybe. I'm going to. I'm just gonna go up there to like the edge. We're 20 feet up, right?
Yeah, you're about 20 feet.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say, greetings. I don't know what language they speak. I mean, I do, but I don't speak it. So
What
I'm gonna
language
say
do you want to say it in? Just common, the common dialect?
Common. Yeah, I have common. I have Celtic, so I'll just say it in common.
Okay, yeah, neither one of those are even
Yeah.
close to what they're speaking. Okay. All right, yeah, you speak, you say that. And when you do, they stop. And the eyes that are on the top of their head kind of open up.
Mhm.
And you hear Rowan Siege, because you understand them, and Helene a little bit less. You hear them that they say the prophecy has been fulfilled.
Oh,
The strange creature with only 2 arms and 2 legs and 2 eyes has arrived. Those
Mhm.
others must be lying that they have found such a beast. Quick, get it. And they all stand up. So 13 of these guys stand up and they got their
Whoa.
arms.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! I like put my hands up in the universal gesture of, whoa, stop, wait.
Yeah. They start to make noises like you would use to attract like a chipmunk. They're like, and one of them reaches down and gets like some cheese. And they're like, hey, trying to attract you.
Oh, I see. Well, normally that would work, but I look at the other two. I'm like,
There's-
they're
Helene
not.
says, "Oh,
there's-
cheese! I used my cheese already."
Rowan Siege is, it sounds like that they think you're part of some prophecy. And Rowan Siege will stand up beside Pinesta and say, yes, the prophesied ones have come. She will say that in Hellenic.
Helene listens to that and she face palms. Oh no!
So you step out and they say, we have two of the prophecy. We will definitely become king. It is ours. Quick, get them. And then now they're shaking nuts, trying to attract you to go forward.
You want I should fireball them?
Right. And then one of them is like, hold, it speaks our language. And then they all kind of turn and all their eyes go really wide. And then they look at Roach and they say, creature of prophecy with freakishly few arms and legs and eyes, come with us so that we may fulfill our role and be rulers over this land. And you can stay and be studied.
Oh, well, that does sound enticing.
Ask
Give
him
me a
about
moment
Ali.
to speak it over to with my companion here.
Ask
They
him
say
if,
we can stay and be studied by them.
well, no, but ask him if they've seen others like us.
Yes.
Have you seen others like us?
10,000 years ago, a creature with only 2 legs. How do you even stand? 2 arms and 2 eyes was seen. And a prophecy said that when the next returned, that whoever brought them to the citadel would be king.
I mean, ask him if we have to stay. If we let them take us to their citadel, do we have to stay, or can we just like go?
The blue faction claims to have found such a creature, but clearly they are lying. We have 2 right here. Come and be studied. We will feed you as many nuts and cheese as you could possibly want.
They say something about a blue faction said that they found a human. Oh, and they say 10,000 years ago there were others like us. And if they take us to the center, they'll become kings. Also, we can have as much nut and cheese as we want if we come with them.
Well, I say, as enticing as it is, and thank them for their generous offer. Ask them if we can leave after they become a king.
Okay. So yeah, she will ask. Yes, that is a very tempting offer. If we come with you, may we leave after you become king?
They all look at each other and say, well, it's a great honor to be studied by us. Do not worry. We will not cut you into too many pieces. and you may have as much cheese and nuts, and also milk.
We can have as many cheese and nuts and milk as we want, but I'm getting the feeling that they're not gonna let us go.
Before you fireball them, perhaps you should ask them where we could find the other blue faction.
Where is the blue faction that claimed to to find another one of us?
They are heading to the Citadel to claim their kingship. When the sun lowers and then raises again, we call that raising sun time. Then they will walk upon the stairs of the Citadel and become king. Which is not cool, because we should be king. Because we are the slightly less blue faction.
They're the slightly less blue faction. They want to take us to become king. They said that Ali, as far as I can understand, the other blue faction, the more blue faction, is
They are not more
taking.
blue. Oh no, you're saying it. Call them.
Well, wait. They're not more. Just you're slightly less blue, but they're not more blue.
Yes. They are taking Ali to the Citadel, and they should reach it by tomorrow, from what I can understand, by rising sun.
Well, maybe we should let them take us to the Citadel, and we have to find it to get to Ali.
All the while, they're still shaking the nuts and holding the cheese out. One guy now has taken what looks like to be some kind of skin, and he kind of does this and drinks a little bit. We can see what falls out, and it looks like it's milk.
Oh, lovely.
And then he offers it.
What kind of milk is? No, I'm kidding. I don't want to know. It's probably some weird six-legged yak milk. No, thanks.
So long as we don't have to disarm, I don't see why we shouldn't.
Disarm.
Considering they want to cut us into pieces. That's fine. All right. You can use, I don't know. What do you guys think? I hate to just fireball, and they seem like decent enough guys. They got nuts and cheese and all that.
There are many of them, and they could have already attacked us by now if they tended to harm us.
I mean, I say we go with them, and I save my fireball for later.
Exactly. You might need it to kill all of them.
Yes.
Until they fulfill their prophecy, I don't think they would be so willing to kill us all.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right. I guess I'll start to climb down the thing. I swear to God, if one of them nets me when I get close, it's gonna be so.
You start to climb down, and you can see the rest of you are looking. You can see they're really looking like they're like. They seem confused as to how you're able to climb with so few limbs.
So, right.
And then when you get to the bottom, one of them has some nuts, and they kind of toss one on the ground in front of you. It's like a big walnut, and he goes, and he takes one, and he breaks it open and starts eating one himself.
I'm gonna point to the one with the cheese.
Oh, he takes the cheese and breaks it off, and he throws a piece of cheese.
I'll pick it up. I'll smell it. Does it smell like any cheese I've ever?
It smells like goat cheese.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of like a little bit of soft, but it's goat cheese.
I'll take a nibble to make them happy.
Yeah, it's good. He's some too.
Okay, good. Yeah, pretty good. I look up the others and be like, doesn't seem poisoned yet.
And Rowan Siege will look at them and say, okay, take us to your city.
Come down. We have cheese and nuts and also milk.
Yeah, we're going down, I believe.
Okay, so you're going to climb down? What about the other two? Aline and Revenue, who they have not seen yet.
Yeah. No, I mean,
you guys could follow behind, I suppose. If they don't see you, you could.
Yeah, we could try that, actually.
Just in case they do try to net me.
No, I mean, Helene wants to be next too. Penesta and Woinsich. So she stands up and comes down, and she looks at one of the nuts that's thrown at her, and she picks it up and cracks it open and holds it up, and she says, "Darmok and Jalad et Tanagra."
Nice. They hold it up. They eat
Yep.
theirs. So they of course when you come out they say, "We have three. We have three. We will definitely be king." So much studying.
Did they say how long it would take to get to the place?
They did not say that. But you can see that there's a place. It's probably like, I mean, you can see it from where you're at, but it's pretty far away. You would imagine like a day-ish to get there, a little bit less.
Okay, so invisibility wouldn't last that long.
Oh, invisibility lasts until you
Yeah, it would.
commit a hostile act. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it could last
permanent.
until you drop it. At least.
then
Yeah.
that's what I'll do. I'll just cast
Yeah.
invisibility and follow behind them. That way I know they won't see me.
Okay. Yeah. If it's just regular, the spell invisibility, right?
Yep.
It's not like a special ability. Yeah. No, it's until you drop it, right? Or until you commit a hostile act.
Okay.
Correct.
So-
or until it's dispelled by magic.
Or
somehow.
dispelled, right? If somebody
Yes.
dispels.
Gotcha.
But basically, it doesn't have a time limit. I guess at the point.
Correct.
Unlike some other versions. Where you
That's
just
a
don't know.
really powerful spell.
Well, hell yeah.
Yeah, Revna
Yeah.
would have been around. Our dear friend, what's his name, the Invisible Mage.
Oh,
That's
To
right.
realize that it's gonna last forever.
He's still invisible somewhere. So yeah, you there's like an imprint in the snow somewhere where he's still invisible. So yeah, they lead. You say you go with them. And they say, we must go to the citadel before the sun lowers and then rises again at the time that we call when the sun comes rising. I forget what I said now. What it was called, but they say that same thing that I said the last time. And they start walking along the road with you, leading the way. They ask you, since you speak the language of Rowan, you say, are there, from where you come from, do they all speak?
Not all.
I believe that these are speaking as well, right? Although they are speaking in some strange way. And they points at Penesta and Helene, who have spoken.
Yes, they are speaking in our holy language. We cannot
Oh.
permit you to understand it, for it would melt your ears and cause you to go blind if you were to understand our words.
Oh, that is strange.
Hmm.
We have killed the gods long ago here, so we don't fear that kind of thing.
Great. Yes. Well,
Yes. We only support the goats who give us cheese and milk. We worship them as friends, not as gods.
well, that sounds very peaceful.
Yes. Goats are very nice. A lot of people think that goats, will eat anything, but really these goats are very picky. Believe me, they are picky.
Well, where I come from, goats usually eat grass.
What
Oh.
does the goat eat?
Oh, the goats only eat shellfish.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Apparently, their goats eat shellfish. Only shellfish. Strictly
Only
strict shellfish diet.
Probably why the cheese tastes so good. Of course, I won't say that because I'm invisible.
I
yes,
start looking through the cheese to see if I can find any shellfish.
No, but it is delicious. It is delicious goat cheese. You do, as you're walking through this strange land with the strange colored trees and everything, you do come to some pastures with goats who are incredibly small. Like much smaller than you would think goats would be. They're only like about 1 foot off the ground. But there's lots of them. You don't see any full-size goats here. But you do see these little tiny ones. And again, like herds of them running around. And there's lots of like random ponds that you see everywhere. Otherwise, the landscape is pretty much like you would expect, except for the weird color trees and the stones. And eventually, it becomes dark, and you rest. You guys set up the camp. They feed you if you want to eat. They, ask you random mundane questions that are silly. And then the next day, you head towards what appears to be a city. This city is intricately carved from stone, mostly kind of translucent stone of green and amber. And so you can almost see through like all the walls. You can see people inside. Lots of people seem like they could live here because it's pretty big. But when you get to the outskirts of the city, it's pretty deserted. And at that point, the slightly less blue tribe says to you, "They must already be at the citadel. We must hurry. Can you move quickly with only 2 legs?"
Yeah, so we can move quickly
Yep.
enough with only 2 legs.
Okay. And then they start to move quickly. They're running, kind of like the 1 leg, 2 leg, like you ever see a 3-legged race? So you guys are basically jogging, and you're faster than they are. They're like, as they're kind of moving through the thing, and you follow them through this kind of windy streets, and everything is very ornately carved, but everything seems to be like a single piece. So like there's no like doors in the doorway. There's just openings, but like there's carvings and everything, mostly of goats and of various numbers of eyeballs, kind of all over. Luckily, you're not triggered anymore by the.
Oh yeah.
But they're not the Zako eyeballs. They look like their eyeballs. And eventually you bust into this open courtyard that's full of hundreds of these guys. Some of them are very dark blue, some are slightly lighter blue, some are kind of a teal in color. And as you come up, you see Ali being led up the stairs to this large citadel. He seems well fed on nuts and cheese. Brought in by the promise of studying. Although I think Ali may have interpreted it as that he was going to get to study. We'll say he seems happy enough to go along from the distance, if that's okay. So yeah, you guys see this going on, and then these guys are like, "Quickly, we must get to the stairs, quick first!" And they start busting through to get towards the stairs. And as you kind of all get there, the 3 of you with the 13 slightly less blue, and then Ali's on the other side with the slightly more blue, but they're not more blue. On the other side, they kind of face off against each other. There's 13 of each of them. What languages does Ali speak? Does he speak Khromarium or?
Ali speaks a whole bunch of languages.
Yeah, he's super linguist. So.
He speaks Hyperborean, Lemurian, Thracian, which is Ixian, Common, Celtic. That's Gaelic dialect, and Eskimo, coastal Eskimo. Yeah, so Hellenic, Celtic.
Right, so he was able to pick up bits and pieces of the language, so he's really been kind of in the dark a little bit, we'll say. He picked up Study and Citadel and King, so I guess he was going along for the ride. You can tell me why he's there, but Ali, you see the rest of your friends, save Revna, come up with these other men that are like these guys you've been hanging out with, who have been feeding you cheese and milk and nuts for the last 3 days. And they seem to be arguing. The only person who can really understand all of this is Rowan Siege. It seems that the group you're with is claiming that they have the right because they have 3 of the 2-legged people, but the other ones are making the argument that means they have 6 legs, so it doesn't count. So there's kind of like an argument going on about the number of legs. And you see Ali. So you can play Ali young, obviously. I'll take Helene over, unless you want. Yeah, I'll just roll for Helene. Yeah.
That'd be great. Hold on a second.
So you're picking up parts of this that you can see there's a conflict here, and you see your friends that your alien guys seem to be arguing with these new alien guys about something about the number of legs, but it's a little unclear as to what's going on.
So, Ali is in everyone's presence right now, or
Yeah. He's like probably 20 feet away from the party.
okay? How many are the people? How many people are
So
there?
with Ali was so let me just we'll roll back and do a little fade. So basically, Ali fell from the sky and was knocked unconscious. And when he woke up, he was surrounded by 13 of these blue men, the legs and the arms and everything, who fed him. The bits and pieces that he was able to pick out of the conversation was that they were going to bring him to the Citadel where they were king, because that's kind of what he got from it, and that he could study there. So not really knowing where he was or having a way back, and having broken communication with his familiar, he's been kind of just tagging along. Like, what else are you going to do? Uh, so at this point, he's not 100% sure what's going on, but he can see there's definitely conflict. There's 13 with you. There's 13 of these new ones, and there's crowds of like 100 of them around the thing. So that's kind of the situation where we're at right now. If all that makes sense.
Nice. Yeah, Ali at that point he gets up and holds up his hand and says, "Panesta, Rowan Siege, Revna, and Helene."
Revna's not here.
Oh, okay. Well, scratch Revna.
All that save Revna.
Yeah, all that same Revna. You're here, my friends. You've come to me in this strangest of places. And he speaks in their language, in common.
Yes. Do you understand why you're here? Rosensage will ask.
Well, from what I could make out by Hyperborean dialect and Celtic, I think they're here to talk about becoming kings, and they would allow me to study here. I was trying to find a way back home, but I didn't know exactly how to do that, aside from trying to relay that information through Kasim over there.
Well, no, they want to study you, dear.
Oh, so that's what that article meant.
Yes, they want to dissect you.
Well, I'm glad that you're here. Let us find a way back. You do know the way back, don't you?
Yes, I believe so.
How should we make our exit?
I say we run.
Yeah.
We're faster than them.
Fireball.
I'm not gonna fireball me and the whole group of my friends.
No, I'm saying fireball when you run away to make them like not be able to follow you.
Yeah.
The roll 2d6 for me, Crystal.
Okay. 3, 4 for a total of 7.
7, okay. Young, you roll 2d6.
Three d6 or 2d6?
2d6. Yeah.
9.
Okay, so the slightly less blue group seems pissed off now, and they're gonna make the first move. So they start charging at the blue group to try to strangle them with their 5 arms apiece. So they charge forward. So Ali, you're there, and these guys come charging at you. Of course, the rest of the Panesta, Rowan Siege, and Helene are kind of standing back, and they just leave you, and they just run towards the other ones, saying something about "We will be king" as they charge forward. And Ali, you see them all charging as well at the.
Am I free or am I?
Yeah, you're just standing there. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they never tied you up or anything. You've just been following them.
Yeah, Ali at that point says, "Time to go," and then
Yeah.
he calls upon his little broom. It flies up to him, and he's like hopping on it and going over to your side immediately.
Rosensage is gonna say, "Everyone, close your eyes," and she's gonna cast a spell.
Okay.
All right, I'll close my eyes.
Yep,
All right.
I'm closing
What's the
mine.
spell?
Blinding light.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Nice.
Nice. Well done.
Yeah, I'm closing my eyes too.
Yeah, you close your eyes as a broom.
I'm flying blind.
20-foot diameter. blindness unless sorcery save. Okay, creature 3 hedges or fewer. Oh, okay. 46 be blinded. Okay, so you want me to do one save for all of them, or you want me to do the 26 of them separate?
One save for all of them would be fine.
Okay. Ooh. They may have made that. They have 4 eyes, though, so you know. If they made it, it's because only some of the eyes got affected. Saving throw. 16. They fail. So all 26 of them that kind of charge together, they're suddenly like, "We've been cursed! We've been cursed!" And they're flailing their 5 arms around wildly, and their 3 legs kicking, and their eyes are shooting in different directions as you kind of Ali takes off in the air with the broom. The crowd is watching, and they're saying, "The end is near! The end is near!" And people are
If they're not in the radius of the spell, or if they do succeed, they still see spots for 1d6 turns.
Okay, yeah. So everybody's a little bit confused at this moment.
Okay.
No, they failed. The 26 of them in the middle failed. So the ones you
Okay.
targeted, which were the 2 groups, the blue and the slightly less blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're blind.
But I just meant like everyone else who's around that
Yeah.
that wasn't in
Well,
the
within the
radius.
range, right? Not just anybody who sees it.
Everyone, even those who are not in the radius. It says, I think.
Oh,
Creatures
okay.
not within the radius of the spell and those who make their saves will see spots for 1d6 turns, which might have
perfect, okay.
adverse effects at the referee's discretion.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. So the crowd is basically freaking out. So a riot is brewing. So what's everybody's plan?
Run away.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to just get out of there.
Ali yells, "Hop on!" And he lands near either, somewhere between Rowan Siege and Panesta.
Yeah, go ahead, get on there, Rowan Siege, if you want. I can. I'm not gonna take.
Helene, get on. I can move it. I can move faster than Helene.
Okay, Helene gets on. Helene's like, yeah, Helene gets on the broom. Revan, you're still invisible. Panesta and Rowan Siege, and I guess Revan invisibly, are up on the stairs of the Citadel. A riot is starting to form in the city. You've got the Citadel up in front of you, and then you've got, obviously, back through the crowd and through the city is the hill where you came in.
Okay. So to run away, we'd have to go through the crowd?
Yeah, I mean, they're kind of confused. You'd certainly run through them if you want to try.
That's what Rowan Siege is going to do. I mean, I don't know what else to do.
Yeah. Let's try to see. Yeah, I think I'll just try to. Wait, no. I can use the rod. Can I use the rod of rulership?
So great. That is perfect. The prophecy has been fulfilled.
Wow. All right. Yeah, you can pull it. So you take out your.
Who's the king now, beef?
Well, I just want to get us out of here safely. I don't actually. But yes, I could say that. I have a king where you can have a beautiful red-haired queen.
So yeah, I feel a theme coming on here. Panesta is queen. All right, rod of rulership. So you get. Yeah, none of these guys are high enough to get a saving throw. So you get to do 1d4 plus 1 times 100 hit dice. Right. Well, it's only within 120 feet, but that'll be a lot of them.
Just enough to clear. I just want to start to clear us a path. I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can have them clear you a path effectively. But go ahead and roll. I want to see how many hit dice you can do. I must know.
Oh, okay. 1d4 plus 1 times
1d4 plus 1 times 100.
Okay.
Yeah, these guys are all 2 hit dice, basically.
So 2 plus 1 is 3 times 100.
So 300 hit dice.
300.
So 150 of these guys. Okay, yeah. So that's mostly everybody. So you you're obey, and these guys are all like, We have a queen.
Yeah. All right, get out of the way. Your queen
And they
must
do.
must run.
Oh,
Gotta-
before you go, that particular one over there had been very nice to me when I first arrived here. Perhaps you can make him the king.
Oh, wait. In my absence, obey that one. I hope he's not a complete douchebag. You will obey Grok, I say, or whatever his name is. I don't know his name.
Oh my god.
He's like some sort of weird peddler
Random.
guy.
All right, so we'll say because you're not really sure, so we'll say that we have a 2 in 12 chance that you pick the right one. Otherwise, if you roll,
Oh,
so if you roll a
God.
1 or a 2, it's the right guy. If you roll a 3 through 10, it's like some random person. If you roll 11 or 12, it's like a terrible tyrant that basically brings down this entire dimension. So
Okay,
roll a
I'm going
D12.
to. Yeah, I'm gonna roll it in roll 20 so everybody can see. Oh, a 10.
Okay, it's a decent. You somehow point at the
But
wrong
you
person.
almost.
I know. Oops.
Yes, you're running out with the rod. Oh, I'm a leader. You're gonna have to maintain it for roll 2d6 for the amount of rounds you'll have to do it in order to keep that going.
Okay, I'll just like I said, I'll just roll it here on roll 20, 2d6.
Yeah.
4.
Okay, that's
Okay.
so you'll have to hold it for 4 rounds before they're
All right.
like confused.
I'll
It's
mark
not
it
like when
off.
they come out of it they suddenly hate you. They're just like, whether or not that'll stick or not. It's certainly that guy is like, yeah.
Boy, I hope that he's not killed in a bloody coup at some point.
He probably will be.
Oh God, now I feel bad. Sorry, but heavy lies the head, or heavy hangs the head, and all that. I
Yes,
run.
he was part of the slightly less teal group.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And later he is
Yeah.
murdered in his sleep.
The main point of it is we don't care what happens to that guy. Let's go home.
Let's go home. Yeah.
All right, you make your way back. It takes a day or so, but nobody's following you because there is a revolution in the street. In the slightly less blue, slightly more blue, teal, and off green factions fight throughout the entire city. You're able to go back the same way you came, and let's see, a total of on the 23rd day of the month, you arrive back to your folding boat and henchmen who have been sitting along the riverside eating some crab. And I guess we'll leave it there.